Hey, what's going on, guys? Xbox Online channel. Host Sega Forever here. I wanted to talk about something really quickly. As you guys know, today was supposed to be D-Day for Microsoft and the Xbox brand. Obviously, as we talked about previously, there were definitely going to be some changes. Asha Sharma actually sent out a memo to everybody over at Xbox, but also made it public and get ahead of the story. And that's one of the things I like the most about her. And she doesn't just sit back and let things happen. She definitely takes action. She definitely is very transparent and she puts people in the know. As you can see, man, the name of my video today is the Age of Asha, but I'm really looking forward to see what she does. And again, I know some of the news that came out isn't all rainbows and butterflies, but also it wasn't as bad as everybody made it out to be. And like I tell you guys on my channel all the time, unless it's coming from the source, take everything with a big handful of salt, right? Also, keeping in mind that a lot of people just hate Xbox. There's a lot of people trying to grift on this stuff. A lot of channels that talk about this stuff aren't really gamers. A lot of them might dabble in pop culture, but they know nothing of gaming, and specifically when it comes to the brand of your choice. Again, you guys know I'm a pro Xbox channel, right? What I do on this channel is to talk about things that have specifically to do with Xbox, right? Because that's my console of choice. This is what I do, right? So let's take a quick look, man. I want to go through this really quickly because it is a long letter, guys. I mean, I was kind of surprised how big it was, but I can also appreciate it. Sorry that it's so small. It's about the biggest I can put it on. So she posted this on her account on X. That's where I picked it up from, right? So I just want to go over this, right, so we can get it all out there. For all the stuff that was put out, dude, a lot of smoke and mirrors, a lot of the fake news. But what we're gonna do here, man, because at the end of the day, like I said, we all bleed green, right? We're all Xbox fans as well as consumers, right? It doesn't behoove us if we just get smoke blown up our ass all the time, right? We want to deal with things realistically, but we also want to have the right and proper information. Again, not all rainbows and butterflies, but a lot of this stuff. If a lot of you guys follow Microsoft like we do and follow their Xbox brand, you know some of this stuff is coming. If you guys don't have your head in the sand and you guys pay attention to social economical things that's going on in the world, it shouldn't surprise you either. This is why I don't lose my mind out of this. A lot of this stuff. The only bad thing that came out of all of this is because we had a stunning showcase, summer showcase. That was awesome. That again was 10 out of 10. A lot of good information set out there. I got a lot of good news. But then within a couple days after the showcase ended, all the negativity, started erupting, and they took it way above pale. So this is why we're going to read this letter really quickly. Hey, what's up, Unlimited? Yeah, let me read this letter, and then oh hey, let me send you the link really quickly. I'll send it to you on Instagram, dude. I'm not going to be on too long though, but if you want to share your thoughts, that's fine. It is a work night for me. What I want to do is I do want to cover this stuff, man, because it is important. And I'm a pro Xbox channel. And to be honest with you, this is what I was waiting for. Like I talked about in my video yesterday, man, I was not worried on that level. Though I knew some changes were coming. Because it's happening all over. It's happening in every industry. Unlimited, I sent you the link on Instagram if you want to jump in. But let me go through this real quick, guys. Asha Sharma. Again, man, I just love, like I said, this is the age of Asha, man. I'm looking forward to see what she does, man. Because there's some stuff that Xbox that's got to take care of, right, as a brand, right? And for me, if you guys watch my videos, man, you guys know how I feel about a lot of stuff that's been going on over the last 6 years, right? And so I'm looking forward to see what she does. Might not get everything we want, might not be happy with everything she does, right? But the one thing I do appreciate about her is that she's keeping us in the know, right? At least on the level that a person that runs a that works for a $1 trillion company can do so, right? But she gets ahead of everything, man. And I think that's important. That's something that they really need to ultra focus on, right? Aside from all the other couple things that I'll give my thoughts on later. We'll go through this really quickly. So Unlimited, if you want to jump in, just I sent you the link. Again, it's on Instagram. Asha, this is an important email I sent today to all employees at Xbox. Team, we are beginning the most significant restructure in Xbox history. After careful consideration, I made the difficult decision to reduce our team by approximately 3,200 throughout fiscal year 27. So this is the entire fiscal year. This will include approximately 1,600 role eliminations today. And in addition, four studios will leave Xbox to new management. I recognize that a year-long restructuring creates additional challenges. Unfortunately, it is not possible to make all the necessary changes in a single day, and I wanted to be direct about the scale. I know this is painful. These changes will directly affect people who have poured their creativity into building Xbox. Many joined us through acquisitions, while others were recruited here or sought us out because they loved this industry and loved Xbox. Today's decisions do not reflect their talent or dedication. Our business today is not healthy. We are operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than comparable platform and publishing businesses. We entered Gen 9 with a smaller install base and a higher cost structure. To grow, we bet on Game Pass, multi-platform, and a broader portfolio of content. Yeah, they did. Looking back now, with all of this stuff coming out, this is they did focus on Game Pass, which is sad because I do love Game Pass. I'm not gonna lie. Hey, what's up, Unlimited?
Hey, what's up, man? What's
Yeah,
up, Sega Forever?
what's up, brother? I'm just gonna get through this letter and then you can give your thoughts.
Yeah. No, no, continue.
Okay. Um, Game Pass multi-flop. Okay. While those businesses have created meaningful value, they did not grow at the pace we expected. And that's a key. That's a key term right there that we expected. Right? Not that they're
Mm-hmm.
going broke. Not that Xbox or Microsoft is going broke. Right? It's that at the pace we expected. When you're on that level with these businesses, that's what you got to think about. As that happened, our core business weakened and we added more teams, more investment, and more time, hoping for a better outcome. And now the industry is facing the most severe hardware crisis in its history. We must reset. And this is something that's out of their hands. Um, something kind of, I'm sorry, Unlimited. If you want to chime in, please do so.
Um, hold on. I'm trying to. I want to pull it up on my own screen so I could see it better too, because I read
Okay.
it earlier. I read it earlier, like I assume you have as well. I just
Yes.
want to make sure I get my points across. It's just, yeah,
Okay.
it's
So
not
then
easy.
I'll just read it through without jumping in. And
Yeah. Keep reading. Keep reading.
first, we will reset our content portfolio. Since 2018, we have aggressively expanded our studio portfolio while the number of games created each month across the industry now outpaces the last 10 years combined. We now find ourselves competing not only with the largest publishers, but also with smaller independent studios. It is neither possible nor desirable to own every great independent studio. We have also learned that we are not the best home for every type of studio. In a typical year, we lost 64 cents for every dollar we invested. As we reset Xbox, we will help independent creators succeeding by providing open development tools and audience to realize their vision. Compulsion Games and Double Fine Productions will return to management and transition to independent studios with their IP, catalog, and runway for their next games. Ninja Theory and Undead Labs have entered terms to join new ownership with funding to complete and grow Senua and State of Decay 3. In France, Arcane's management is beginning required consultation with its Works Council to review potential strategic options. We are also making reductions across other units and in some cases shifting investments to focus on higher priority projects. These changes vary in size across Activision, Bethesda, ZeniMax, Blizzard, King, Mojang, and Xbox Game Studios. None of our first-party publicly announced games or projects are being canceled. That's awesome. As part of these reductions. In addition,
Hmm.
Mojang and King will now report directly to me. Okay, we'll talk about that. These two studios have increasingly become platforms that are largest by monthly active players. They bring critical geographic, demographic, and differentiation to Xbox. Second, we will reset our platform. We know that great technology gets better when it gets simpler, not bigger. Today, in some parts of the company, work passes through as many as 14 layers of management down. Our platform teams are 40% larger than they were at the start of this generation, even as our player base and playtime have declined. The complexity has slowed decisions, blurred accountability, and made it harder to deliver for players. As we reset Xbox, we will simplify. We will reduce management layers to no more than five and, where possible, three. We will deliver success through a through a flatter organization that is built around makers, individual contributors focused on building, player coaches, leaders who remain deeply involved in the work while developing their teams, and directly responsible individuals who own key decisions and outcomes. And we will streamline how we work, across our tools. With the cleaner code base, shared services, and 50% reduced vendor spend. Wow. Third, we are resetting how we operate. As Xbox grew our headcount, we became more fragmented. Team studios and functions often operated independently and became harder to work towards a shared goal, make the right trade-offs, and get things done. For the first time, we're establishing a chief operating officer with end-to-end P&L responsibility across content, hardware, platform, and services. Helen Xiang has been promoted to this role and will report directly to me. Over nearly 2 decades at Xbox, Helen has helped build some of our most important businesses, from Xbox Live to leading Mojang and Minecraft franchises. She will bring our business together under one operating model, making sure we make clear investment decisions, learn from our successes and failures, and hold ourselves accountable for results. Wow, she's saying a lot in this, right? Thank you to
Hmm.
McCarthy, who is retiring after 17 years with Xbox. Dave has played a defining role in building the platform that millions of players rely on every day and has been a trusted partner through many of the biggest moments in Xbox history. We wish him all the best. These changes are about a bigger future for Xbox, not a smaller one. The next decade of gaming will be larger, more global, and more creative than anything we've seen before. This year, we'll invest as much in Xbox as we ever have, but we'll invest with greater focus, greater discipline, and greater clarity, all in service of making Xbox where the world plays and creates. I want Xbox to be one of the few companies that entertains more than a billion people each day and gives everyone the opportunity to create and connect. I know we can achieve this goal. Xbox has many of the most beloved franchises in entertainment history, talented studios around the world, and we return to growth in 2027. History is full of companies that mistake longevity for inevitability. We will not be one of them. Asha, damn, that is an awesome that is an awesome memorandum. I have to say,
Yeah.
right? And I love the fact that this is for the team, but she shared it out for everybody
Hmm.
because she knows how much the community loves the Xbox brand.
And not only that, this curtails the narratives, because remember the narratives before today were ridiculous. State of Decay 3
Yeah.
was going to get canceled. They're going to close every studio under them. I mean, I lost count of all the articles I saw popping up from Windows Central alone, which
Hmm.
all of them were incorrect in some way, shape, or form.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So that's another thing that this did. It went deep, and it went deep into it. Even talking about how they lost what 64 cents on every dollar they invested. You
Yeah. Yeah.
know,
She didn't hold
um,
anything back, dude.
no, no, and I love that.
Me too. No, 100% with you on that one.
Is unique at they actually say the silent part out loud when they need to. You know, and I think what she did here today, it made the clickbait videos and websites,
Hmm.
it's not as bad as it would have been, right? Because no studios closed. You know, they're either being sold off or going independent. No games, and she specifically said no games are canceled.
Yeah.
Just so, yeah, just so nobody puts in their videos Xbox canceled XYZ. You know what I'm saying? Um, and then she just, she hit on the facts and everything. The former leadership, what they did, and listen, what Phil, Sarah, and them did, they did what they thought was best. All right, and financially, it didn't work out. It seems like, and that's what people need to understand. Sega Forever is that's okay. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? That's okay. So now we're seeing what her vision of her Xbox is looking like, right? And and after Senua and City of K3 releases for next year, and they go independent, we're going to see what else the studios are going to do. And something that I did find interesting, you kind of pointed at it too, was that they shrunk their management.
Yeah.
Hold on. Is my mic still on?
Yeah. It can hear you perfectly.
Okay, yeah, yeah. Okay, cool. So sometimes this mic, it says that it's off, but people still hear me. I don't know
Oh,
why.
you do have an echo though.
Oh, hold on.
Yeah.
Yeah. This is-
Hey,
hopefully,
what's up, Daniel Berryman? Welcome to the show. Yeah,
hey,
like Coco
what's up?
said, USA lost,
Yeah, yeah. Unfortunately,
unfortunately, but
unfortunately.
I think we got farther than most people thought.
Yeah, yeah,
And they had some good matches, so it is what it is.
yeah. It was. But back to the topic at hand.
Yeah.
Um, Yeah, another you like you hinted at the their management teams are 40% larger than they were at the start of this generation. Um, even though the player base and play time decreased. So when this is a reset, this feels like as big as a reset as you could do. You know what I'm saying? Shrinking management, which is going is I think that's going to be good. I think less management is going to be good because a lot of times the middleman just isn't needed. You know what I'm saying? The
Yeah,
middle managers who don't do nothing, and from the looks of it, it seems like they weren't reporting as frequently as you'd hope with any of these projects. Caused a lot of these studios to get investments for 8 years that probably didn't plan out like they thought. You know what I'm saying? But
well, I
this
think
does lead to uh huh
no, I just think if you look at it with her saying that kind of stuff, I just
yeah
that I think that just goes to Phil. Look, I'm not like you said, dude, Sarah and Phil did a tremendous job, right? They plotted out a course. It just didn't work out. And again, some of that stuff, guys, if you're, I'm just being honest with you, they can't control the global economic situation that's going on. I
mm-hmm
don't care how much money you have or how big you are. Everybody got to play by
yep
those rules, right? You can't force people to buy your product and participate in your ecosystem when they got to pay for rent, right?
mm-hmm
When they're sleeping out of their cars, right? There's more important things in life, and you can't plan for that. I don't care who you are, right? Now, with that being said, I would like to just say, just to add to what Unlimited is saying, the only issue I have, and it's been an issue that kind of since day one with Phil Spencer especially, um, is just not being able to put the foot down, um, and actually getting that getting that business aspect that goes into game development down.
all right
And we can go as far. And I'm not blaming Phil for that. A lot of this rests also on the developers themselves, and this is why we're having this. Look, Unlimited Man. I don't want to put your your business out there. I'll put my own business out there. This is what I went
mhm,
through at my job. Right? We
all right
lost the key manager that moved on. Right? Thought she was going to be
mm-hmm
with us for like she kind of told our group that stuck with her that she was going to be. She had like a 5 year to 7 year plan, and then
mm-hmm
she came in one day and was like, "Okay, I'm out," and that threw everything where I worked, everything into disarray.
all right
And that's kind of what happens sometimes, guys. I mean, I don't know, all of this stuff. If you can't manage and if you can't get across the goal line with a lot of this stuff, I think that was the Achilles heel that Phil had the most. Because Phil is a nice
yeah
guy, he's a likable guy, right? He always turns the other cheek, right? When Platinum's games did what they did, when some of these developers that they talked to and that they
mm-hmm
were funding and that produced games for them would come to them, Hebot says this all the time, would come to them and say, we want to put our game in other places. Phil should have put his foot down. I think with Asha, we're not going to have that problem at all.
yeah
And as she wrote in the letter, right, I think that is what they're doing, right? This is
mm-hmm
why Phil retired, and this is why she's stepping in. Because at the end of the day, dude, they're funding this stuff, they're paying for it, and
yeah
they want to have the best products on there. You know what I'm saying? So I do, not to interrupt you. Sorry, I'm going to carry on.
No, man. You were spitting, man. You were on top of it, cause and that's why with new leadership it takes time to get things sorted out. And look, I was one of the people I was saying forever. Nice guy Phil didn't bother me, still don't bother me, but nice guy Phil also comes with the consequences of his leadership style.
Yes.
And
Yep.
and some people can work like that. I was one of those people who used to work under a boss that was a little more lackadaisical. He wasn't really on my ass, but I
Yeah.
still got everything done. Some people can, but not on the scale of Microsoft. Microsoft now let's put things this way. They said what 30% by 2027, and that's 3,000 people. That's a lot of people, and you got to be a lot more stringent with that many people under your belt when you're the head of it. So
Yeah.
we're going to see what she's going to do. I like that they're cutting out some of the middle, because if anybody's ever worked in corporate America, that middlemen are about the most useless jobs there are. No offense to any middlemen listening to the podcast, but
No,
the
no,
middle
no, no. They
managers.
know. They know.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. But if you want to know a job that you can't explain, be a middle manager in a corporation, and ask them what they actually do. All right, we account. When I was doing accounting, you
Mhm.
knew what we were doing. We are crunching the numbers for the company, and it's just so that they kept making money or cut losses where they're losing money at.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah.
And as much as people hate the accountants, especially in creative areas like film and
Mhm.
film media and video games, there's a reason why you have the number crunchers, man. And the unbiased number cruncher is because of this situation where, like the letter said, they were spending what is she saying? Oh yeah, they're 40% larger. Their
Yeah.
teams were 40% larger than at the start of this generation. That's why the numbers people come in and say, look, man, you got to cut this off or you got to cancel this game. Sometimes it's just business. It's not
Mhm.
personal.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean she hates Xbox or Xbox hate video games. It's just that in the reality, we listen. There's kind of a bit of an irony here, right? Because when Xbox started purchasing all these studios, what was the one thing people said? That these studios needed creative freedom. And you know what Xbox did, Sega Forever?
Yeah. Give it to him. Yeah.
Yeah, gave it to them. But the end result was games were taking quite long to release. Games were constantly over budget. Like the Blade game, apparently. I don't know if Asha mentioned it, so I'm not going to use that as a fact. So let me use it a different game that was over budget. And this from my favorite studio on Xbox, Obsidian. The Outer Worlds 2 was over budget. You know what I'm saying? And they make fantastic games. And I'm not hating on the game when I say this. I'm just saying that's what happened when you give them creative freedom. Or Ninja Theory. Ninja Theory, they just made 3 Hellblade games basically while under Xbox.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? When maybe if there weren't 14 paths up the chain, somebody could have told him soon, look, guys, we got this Hellblade, Hellblade 2. Uh let's greenlight something else. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I think the problem I'm having with all of this is, like you said, Phil actually listened. Phil was actually a
Mm-hmm.
really nice guy. Phil actually
Mm-hmm.
listened. Phil put the gamer and the games, the creativity, all of that stuff that people say they want. He put it
Yeah.
ahead of everything else, even if, as we can see, in front of the business. Okay? What ended up happening was that none of these people, you know, and I'm talking about everything they did. Nobody,
Mm-hmm.
other people did not reciprocate. Right?
Yeah.
When Xbox was getting all the hate, a lot of their haters were saying, "Well, you don't have a powerful enough system. Well, you don't have AAA studios that create AAA content. Right?
Right.
You guys don't have this. You guys don't have that." Phil took that all to heart and he changed it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not gonna lie, dude. I enjoyed that a lot. But what ended up happening, as we found out, on top of the economy going south, right, is that a lot
Yeah.
of these people were just bad actors.
Yep.
Right? And now this is why. And for a lot of you guys out there, you guys deserve this. I'm just gonna be plain
Yeah.
and simple, right? You have 5 years of feast now times 5 years, 5 years of
Mm-hmm.
famine, right? Because you guys did not support any of this,
Yep.
right? And I'm not talking about the Xbox bleed green guys. I'm talking about the gamers out there who were saying all these things. And at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, we knew that they were all lying, right? And that's where I believe what Asha's going to come in and she's going to put a stop to all this stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Like what she's talking about, the independent games. There's great independent games. It's the same thing like
Mm-hmm.
we talk about with movies, Unlimited, right? You have these award-winning, um, Oscar-worthy, all these indie films that come out, which some of them are good if you like those type of movies, right? But
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day, it doesn't push that meter forward for the industry as a business, right? This is why you have Rocky Five, and this is why you have Independence Day, whatever. You know what I'm saying? This is
Right.
why they keep on rehashing these because they need to fill the coffers, is what I'm trying to say. And unfortunately, in this case, that none of this was reciprocated to Phil,
Yeah.
right? So, and that's why I feel bad about it because Phil tried to do it the nice guy way, and like you said, dude,
Mm-hmm.
that nice guy way. Look, dude, we're in an industry right now, and we're with the consumer base and fan base of gamers, right? That are just absolutely toxic, in my opinion,
Yes. Yes.
right? And
They
there's
don't.
yeah, Go ahead.
Oh, sorry. No, I was just going to give my own anecdotal earlier evidence from earlier today. Uh,
Yeah,
Amazon guy delivered a package. I saw he had a Gears of War tattoo, so I struck up a short conversation, thinking we're going to have a fun little 2 minute conversation.
yeah,
Instead, all he was saying was, "Oh, I hope Gears E-Day isn't trash. Gears since Gears 3 has been awful. This, and that."
yeah,
And I'm just like, "Is this where we're at gamers? Where you can't even just bring up with some casual with some random guy like, hey man, you excited for this new game?" And it can't be like, oh yeah, Marcus Phoenix, Dom are back, and yo, this gonna feel like the old, you know what I'm saying? Something like, but instead it's just a bunch of negativity. Um, and yeah, that's what Phil was dealing with, and it's gotten and really. It's probably has always been that way. I could be wrong, but I think since 2013, that was like that was in the same way that they say the latest political landscape is
hmm
almost all because of Trump. 2013 was the same thing with gaming,
yeah.
where whatever happened in 20, I mean, I know what happened in 20, the Microsoft thing in 2013 just kind of shifted gamers to just almost this insane level of negativity that they're not getting out of anytime soon. But continue.
No, like and to your point in 2013, look what PlayStation just did, right?
Yeah.
That one meme, that one image that's constantly showed since
Mm-hmm.
2013 every single year. When these guys got to bring out the artillery, you know what I'm saying
Yep.
about how Xbox is greedy, Xbox, they don't like physical, and look what happened. Sony drops this big bomb, and nobody's really
Yep.
talking about it, except for the people that are honestly outraged. I'm happy, right? Because they deserve that. Because you guys
Yes.
never
Sir.
hold anybody else to the same standard. You guys hold Xbox and Microsoft to an impossible standard. To be
Yeah.
perfectly honest with you, right? And that's what I mean. This has been going on for the last 13 years, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
kind of what me and Heba talk about with the culture, and me and Heba
Yeah.
talk about with the narrative and the perception, right? Because that's a big deal. Like, look at what happened. She came out with this letter, put it all out in front, and then these news organizations taking all this stuff and just running with it again,
Yeah.
right? And I hope that she's paying attention to that because I don't care how streamlined your business becomes. I don't care how outward you are towards your fan base and your consumers, right? All of this means nothing if they don't deal with that somehow,
Yeah.
right? Like in the case of Phil, that the one thing I did not agree with was the stuff going over, but especially with COD not being, Heba talks about this too, but COD not
Mm-hmm.
being exclusive to Xbox. I think that was a golden opportunity at that time, and I don't give a damn about the court case or not. I'll be honest with you,
Right.
I would have rolled with it, right? If Peter Moore, like we needed somebody like a Peter Moore, he would have done that, or Steve Ballmer, right? But Phil, being Phil, right, not taking advantage of that situation. So I don't know if that window had shifted. Like I think we might have missed that opportunity because at that
Mm-hmm.
point in time, Microsoft, as we can see, was spending, probably in the billions of dollars,
Yeah.
right? I mean, I'm not talking about the big acquisitions, but obviously, having that blind check and doing that, and to me, they
Mm-hmm.
just bet on the wrong horses. Hey, look, I love indie games and stuff like that. I love a lot of the stuff that Microsoft does and offers, but a lot of people at the end of the day just aren't gamers,
Yeah.
right? Look
Yeah.
at
And,
everybody
and
who's, yeah, go
oh,
ahead.
sorry.
No, no, no.
No, no, no. Another thing that was mentioned to pivot to what you're just saying was how they didn't expect. Well, I mean, Asha said it herself. Game Pass and all that stuff didn't grow like they expected. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah,
and we're talking about a situation where Game Pass has over, like they said, over 75 new games throughout this year alone. You know what
hmm
I'm saying? And it feels like even more than that because every time I turn on my Xbox, it seems like something new just hit Game Pass.
right.
And yet
No,
the
it is so.
average gamer don't care.
hmm Yeah, that's what I mean. Like to me, this is what I always talk about, that they got to be medieval, right? Because they are doing all the good things, right? Like to me, Game Pass should be a no-brainer for anybody that's a gamer, right? But right now in the environment that we're in, everybody's so anti-subscription, right? But probably when Netflix or when like how Netflix kicked off, right? But like how Game Pass, let me read Google. Google said the assumptions was that they needed as much content as possible. That's true. This is the Game Pass Netflix model. Yeah, we talked about that all the time too, Google.
Yeah.
So they needed variety, not so much sales, but sales is indicative of interest in actual users. They had the content which they need. You need content for this type of service. The problem was like what was it generating, right? And again, dude, once this stuff was getting out, like this negativity, and now it's just not, and it's this is just not Game Pass, guys. It's across the board. Paramount, look at Disney, all these people, right? They're just losing consumers left and right. The only bull in the game is Netflix, and this is why I did a video like 5 years ago talking about bulletproof, right? That Xbox had the opportunity to be like the Netflix Game Pass, be like Netflix, because had they hit their target, and I said in my video, bro, like 100 million, they could hit 100 million subscribers, dude. They'll be bulletproof,
Yeah,
right? Because once you get to that level, that's the type of thing where people kind of just sit there and just let it happen, right? And obviously that was the goal. So when I'm looking at all the investment they made, it just didn't work out at the end of the day, right? And I think for me personally, it's some of the decisions they made, like not making COD exclusive, right?
yeah,
Getting people to buy your console, but also to be in your ecosystem, right? Like being nice with these guys. Like if like you come to me, we fund your game, and you're like, oh, we want to put it on this. Or if we're having a discussion, like Capcom, right? And I'm saying, okay, we're going to pay for this game, and they go, oh, we want to also put it on PlayStation. I'll be like, no, right? And then Capcom would be like, well, we're not going to do it. Then I'm like, okay, well, fine. I think that's what we're going to get out of Asha. I hope so, at least.
yeah. I hope so too. But I like what she's doing.
Yeah,
And this, and I know some lazy gamer who listens to Colin Moriarty out there,
yeah,
who's faking his outrage over these layoffs, even though he didn't care about Bungie layoffs a week ago. Is it will hear this and say, "Oh, how can you say this is good?" I'm not saying it's good because they got laid off. I'm saying it's good because business shifts all the time, and this is the rare time where a business is shifting and they're being super vocal about it.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
No, and I
Super
think they have to.
vocal.
I think they have to because
Yeah.
they're not going to get any sympathy from our gaming media, right? And then they also have to deal with the regular media, especially on the business end, right? Because I've been following it on multiple fronts, right? And at least in the mainstream media, when it comes to business, they're talking about X's and O's, right? So that's where I
Yep.
mostly focus on. Because if you go to the gaming media, it's absolutely retarded. Like I listen to IGN trying to give advice. I'm like, dude, you guys are the problem. I wrote that. I wrote on LinkedIn. I was like, dude, you guys are the biggest problem with gaming right
Yes.
now, right? Because everything you guys make money, and you guys get clicks and views and subscribers off of negativity. So don't cry when you guys lose your jobs, right? Don't cry when it comes back and bite you in the ass, because that's what's going to happen. The amount of PlayStation guys that have no clue the trouble that the gaming industry is right now, right? Because they base everything on console sales. Nothing on engagement, nothing on the amount of people that get let go at Sony. And I don't even follow Sony, right? If you just follow a
Right.
lot of the business stuff, you get a bright picture. It's actually a dire picture of the gaming industry, right? And the sad part about it is Microsoft, being the behemoth that they are. That's the only thing I did not like that Phil did. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you're the biggest dude in school, right? But you get pushed around by everybody on the playground. You know what I'm saying? And to me, that's
Yeah.
that's my hardest. That's the hardest pill to swallow, dude. If you let people walk all over you, they will.
Hmm.
And a lot of people, they'll take advantage of the situation because at the end of the day, it's what's best for them and their business and their companies,
Yeah.
right? And hopefully with Asha, we won't have to deal with that anymore on the Xbox side, right? Look, I love the industry growing. This is something I'm dealing with my daughter, right? Because she's a creative, right? She wants to get into this industry. Right? She's going to school right now. And I've been trying to drill in her head. I was like, there's a business side to all of this. Yes, you want to make the game that you want. Yes, you want to be creative.
Hmm.
Yes, having freedom to do what you want to do is where some of the best creativity comes from. But so does working under the wire, dude. There's a history in gaming of people that we know as crunch time, right? Where people also produced and did wonderful things.
Hmm.
Right? There has to be a balance, is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
Yeah, Global says, but PS is taking away
Y-
my plastic boxes.
Yeah. I mean, I listen. You know, me and Hebot, we're the dinosaurs who still buying things on disc. Um, but I'm enjoying the backlash Sony got. I saw even CNN brought it up. Erock sent me a video, and I'm like, CNN talking about Sony in this.
Well,
Okay,
like I said yesterday, and rightfully so, because that's what Sony's known
yeah,
for. Sony's known for that.
yeah,
Sony was the
Thi-
entertainment company back in the day, right? So they should
yeah.
be getting blasted for this stuff.
And here's you know what's funny. This is the and I don't know if this is going to stick, but I'll say this: this last week, this is the first time I've actually seen anybody hold Sony's feet to the fire on anything. Now I don't know how long it's going to last, um, but yeah, seeing people actually holding Sony's feet to the fire for once has been entertaining to say the least to me.
I mean, I
Because
think
as
it's
much,
yeah, I
uh-huh.
think it's a little bit too late, right? Um,
Yeah,
and not for the sake of Sony. I'm just talking about gaming in general. This is
right.
stuff you guys should have been doing from the jump, right?
Hmm.
But because all you guys are ultra focused on Xbox, and the media is ultra focused on Xbox, that's why I can't watch anybody, even people I like, people that
Yeah,
I like that cover pop culture. Right? I can't watch them anymore, man, because they're absolutely clueless with what goes on in gaming, and they
yeah,
purport themselves to be nerds that are into gaming, and they're not.
yeah. Oh man, that's an understatement, man.
Yeah,
There's just and then there are zero channels outside of us 100 and people like that who actually play Xbox and actually know what Xbox is about. So
yeah.
when they talk about it takes like 36 seconds of hearing them talk to know they don't play on Xbox. And that's when I hit the X or go watch another video. You know what I'm saying? And I gotta say, these body cam videos been entertaining as hell lately, man. So it could because I mean the gaming content it really is rock bottom awful right
Yeah,
now, and it just feels like a bunch of fanboys who and a bunch of people who are hypocrites who don't believe what they say, and it's somebody for whose videos get recommended to me. Hey, what up, Mike Johnson?
yeah,
But you know whose videos get recommended to me, even though I don't watch them, is Destin Legary. So I'm always seeing his videos on my timeline
yeah.
because YouTube's algorithm thinks when I want to see Xbox, I want to see literally everything related to Xbox.
It's so
And
irritating.
so, but I even saw people calling him out on one of his videos about how he and everybody was saying, oh, Xbox is giving these studios creative freedom. That's what they need to do. And all of a sudden, in his latest videos, I mean, this was a huge problem for Xbox. How could they do this all this time?
Because I'll tell you why, Dustin, because nobody's buying their games. That's why. You guys talk a
Yeah.
good game about creative freedom and all that BS, right? But at the end of the day, right, other gamers who clamored for this stuff, right,
Hmm.
for the last 6 or 7 years, you guys don't even own Xboxes, right?
Yeah.
None of these guys own Xboxes. None of these guys subscribe to Game Pass. Right? You just sit there and you guys lob these fireballs towards Xbox and Microsoft. Microsoft listened, right? But then you guys don't support it. This is why it's going away. This is why Asha is cracking the whip on these dudes, man. You're
Hmm.
gonna get right. Because this is what the gaming industry is now. Everybody's looking
Yeah.
for Grand Theft Auto, right? Everybody plays COD every year. Everybody plays like has their little corner, right? Overwatch, whatever game that you play that you're gonna dump money in, that's where Microsoft is gonna go now.
Hmm.
You guys built this. You guys built this, right?
Yep.
And I love every minute of it. Why? Because I grew up in gaming when it was a different time. So I got to enjoy a lot of variety. I got to enjoy and watch the industry grow and participate and be a part of it. You guys are gonna get vanilla gaming. That's what you guys are
Yeah.
gonna get, and couldn't help it to a greater generation of gamers. And I'm talking to all you guys that are PlayStation guys, right? This is
Hmm.
what you guys deserve because you guys say one thing, but you guys are full of crap, and you
Yeah.
guys do another. You guys can't
Yep.
even support your own games, which is why Sony's closing down studios, right? And why
Yep.
Sony is getting rid of this because you guys do not support the industry, right? You guys support the industry and the fact that one big game comes out or Madden comes out, which I have no
Hmm.
problem with these games. I play them too, right? They come out, right? You buy that game and then you go on the internet and complain, but then you buy your phones, right? You buy your shoes, right? You go out, you do all this kind of stuff. Dude, if you're not gonna put into this, then step, then bounce. Like we deserve this, or you guys deserve this. Look, dude, I'm one
Yep.
foot out the door already, bro. I'm old, right? I've lived this stuff, man. So if it fails, it fails. Sorry, a little bit of a rant there.
Nah, man. Nah. Look, no, you're right, man. They listen. That they did this to themselves. They said one thing, but the results showed another.
Yeah,
Asha's out here saying the gaming industry is not healthy right now.
yeah.
Um,
And she's
Matter of
100,
fact,
1000% right.
yeah. Oh man, to say she's right. I mean, I'm glad that she's saying it. Somebody had to say it.
Oh no, she's and
You
then
know what I'm saying? Because
she's stopping it right there.
yeah,
She's meaning it right where it is, so that these
yeah,
people can clamor, right, or try and
yep,
misdirect her words of the letter. Dude, that's the most direct letter that I ever seen in my life.
yeah, yeah. It was a beautiful letter. And it's posted on Xbox Wire. I think you read it off Twitter as well, so
Yeah,
it's
so
easy to
yeah,
find.
I follow her
Yeah.
on
So.
Twitter. Yeah, that's what I saw.
Mhm. Yeah. She said our business today is not healthy. We are operating at margins that are 3 to 10 times lower than comparable platform and publishing businesses. I mean, my goodness. My goodness.
Yeah,
We enter Gen 9 with a smaller install base and higher cost of structure. And it's just, yeah, just put it out there, you know?
yeah.
And
No,
now,
she doesn't mince any words, man. So they can't
yeah,
take it and twist what she's saying. She's
yeah,
telling them straight up.
yep. Um,
Yeah,
and,
Gogo made a good comment, bro. He says PS is so behind in digital, and that's the market they want to go
yes,
fast towards. Yeah, because they got to catch up.
yeah. Yeah, they don't have Play Anywhere or a good refund policy or none of that stuff. But that's PlayStation, man. They've been doing that for a while now. It's just that nobody paid attention to it outside of us really. That was
Yeah,
paying attention to it. I mean, we've told y'all forever that Sony has at least listen, at least in my time, in my lifetime, they haven't innovated nothing. They haven't been innovative in anything. Now, okay, I give you like I wasn't alive in the '80s, so
hmm
I can't tell you what they were doing back then. But it sounded like they were on top of the world. And but in the '90s, they didn't jump into gaming, innovating from gaming. That
yeah.
that was a partnership with Nintendo
I mean, if
that
I'm being
fell through.
honest, they leveraged what they do best at that time,
Hmm.
right? It's because they're
Hmm.
an electronics company, and this is why I say this all the time. That's what changed gaming right there. If you want to go back and look at why gaming is the way it is right now, it's not what happened in 2013. It happens to all the way back to when Sony entered the market. Because what Sony did is they made it cool to be a gamer,
Yep.
right? And then you brought a lot of the normies that we have now, right? And then on top of that, they ran a generation of gaming, right? They ran a generation of gaming that's caused us to be in the situation that we're in right now with a lot of these people who purport themselves to be gamers. When you listen to a lot of the media guys, just factor in their age and how they grew up gaming. And this is why you get the news that you get. This is why you get the subterfuge that you get. This is why everything is tainted when it comes to news, right?
Yeah.
Because they're just, and some of these guys don't think that they are, but they very much are, right? Because
Hmm.
that's all they know. Because a PlayStation person, a PlayStation gamer, doesn't go outside of their ecosystem,
No.
right? If they do, then they're not technically a PlayStation gamer; they're just a gamer.
Yeah.
But a person who's a PlayStation person first, right, is a pwn first and
Yes.
foremost, right? That's what they are, right? Their brand means everything to them, right? And
Hmm.
that's what they're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with right now. And it could be the ruination of what we know as gaming that we grew up with, right?
Yeah.
Because they've been allowed to do whatever they wanted to do. They've held us, like I've said this for years, man. They've held us back. They've always
Yeah.
held us back, right? Because everything revolves around them, and
Hmm.
that's through the media, right? That's through entertainment. That's through all this stuff, right? They off everybody PlayStation, 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 but they're not doing anything, right? In fact, they haven't done anything in the longest time. Everything they do is either they sit back and wait and watch what everybody else does, right? And then when they do something, right, they jack it up,
Hmm.
right? Because they're not built that way as a company to do
Yeah.
things like online games of service,
Yep.
right? And that's the key right there, dude. And so they're gonna keep on ignoring this stuff until it's just like if you're not feeling well and you should go to the doctor,
Hmm.
right? And then you wait and you wait and you wait, you put it off, and then you finally go, and then you find out, oh man, I'm in bad shape. That's
Yeah.
what's gonna happen with gaming,
Yeah.
in my opinion.
Yep. Yep. And I think more so with PlayStation and Nintendo than Xbox. Because Xbox and look, people are they still don't want to admit that Xbox was right in 2013.
Yeah,
Hell, by 2016, Sega Forever, I specifically remember the same people that were crying in 2013 were saying, "Oh, I'm all digital now," and that was in 2016. Now, what
yeah,
do you think it's like in 2026? You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
So, so that's why I think Xbox is more primed to survive this than the other two, because they've been trying to, first of all, they've been trying to marry Xbox and Windows since day one. All
yeah,
right, people probably don't even remember things like games for Windows Lives and how that had achievements. If with certain games that released on PC and 360, they probably didn't watch that awesome 6-part documentary Xbox did years ago,
yeah,
where they talk about how um what's his name, oh, Bill Gates wanted to put Xboxes in houses for free so
yeah,
people could have Windows in their
yeah.
homes.
Like a
You
cable
know what
box.
I'm saying? Yeah. So all we're seeing now with Helix and Xbox Series X is what they want, what they've been trying to do for the last 25 years.
Right.
But PlayStation, nah, they ain't ready for that, and Nintendo really ain't ready for it. They really ain't ready for it. And so while they might look at Xbox right now and think that, oh, Xbox this that, yeah, they're the ones who's 1,000,000% going to be hurt the most. And the whole time that they've been arrogant, they haven't been seeing their slow death coming from a mile away,
Yeah.
and that's on them. That's on them. But
As yeah. Oh, go
uh
ahead. Oh no, go ahead. Sorry.
no, I was just gonna say good riddance.
Well, I will say this. Now that I've read this memo, right,
Hmm.
I can see where the frustration of Satya comes from when he gave that
Hmm.
interview a couple weeks ago, right? Because he basically said, you can't say that Microsoft hasn't, you know, helped or contributed to the gaming industry because they have, and it shows, right? All the money that they put into it,
Hmm.
right? This is what I mean. I mean, for them, they have to. Again, man, I hope Asha look at the direction that they're going. Go. Like I think Gogo was it Gogo that she said we might get a new Fallout, right? Because it
Yeah.
looks to me like she probably has a meeting with these guys and like, look, dude, these kumbaya days are over, right? We want you
Hmm.
guys to start focusing and making the stuff that sells,
Yeah.
right? And everybody's been clamoring for the Vegas whatever, right? That Obsidian,
Hmm.
what
Yeah.
was it?
New Vegas remake.
Yeah, the new Vegas remake. Now, whether that sells or not, I don't know, right? But this is what people are saying,
Yeah.
right? But for me, it's just kind of like this is why I always say this, right? I mean, because it bugs me the most, right? It's like I think you need to do stuff like Skylanders, right?
Yeah.
I think you need to do this stuff if you're gonna focus your money because obviously, again, shout out to Phil. He tried to be
Hmm.
nice, right?
Yeah.
You know, it didn't work out, right? And these people just they like blood in the water with them and stuff
Hmm.
like that. So let's learn from that. But moving forward, dude, let's do the things that they need to do. I want Xbox to
Yeah.
do the things they need to do to be successful, right?
Yeah.
And stop listening to all these morons, right, that are out there saying stuff. Even now, like the articles that came out today, I was, it
Hmm.
didn't surprise me at all, but I was just laughing to myself, right? Because I'm like, man, these people just don't get it, right?
No.
Like she's laying out right now in her memo what's wrong with the gaming industry, and these guys are
Hmm.
doubling and tripling down. Like when I
Yeah.
forgot, I think it was Kotaku, they were like, no, but we need the
Mhm.
creative. Obviously, we don't, right? I love creativity, dude. I'm
Yeah.
that dude, dude. I'm an audiophile, dude. I was a snobbish '90s film critic type person,
Hmm.
right? That the Criterion Collection is second to none,
Right.
right? Like I was that guy, right? Like when I went to go watch Sunshine of the Whatever Mind, I was like, this is a
Yeah. The
great
Eternal
creative
Mind. Yeah.
internal mind. Yeah, great movies, right? I enjoyed them, right?
Hmm.
But most people don't give a crap about them,
Yeah.
right? And then so I'll just share this story real quick, bro. Then I'll turn the mic over to you. So I just played Aphelion
Hmm.
because it's in Game Pass, guys. If you didn't know, Aphilion's in Game Pass. I highly suggest you check it out because a lot of you guys are sheep, and you shouldn't allow people to make up your minds for you. Okay, you should try and play it. I know the girl doesn't look like a cover model. Get it?
Right.
Check.
Right.
Right. Black girl, white guy. Check. 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 Right. Get all that kind of
Right.
stuff.
Right. Right.
Still, if you're a gamer, maybe you should just try the game out. Right.
Hmm.
Shout out to Sega Man. Right. Sega Man always does that. I was interested in the premise of the game. I liked the trailer. That's why I played it.
Hmm.
And then I'm playing it now. Right. And I feel bad for the creators of this game, right? Because
Hmm.
the game so thus far has been pretty cool. In
Yeah.
fact, if you're a PlayStation guy, you would probably like this game, right? Unless you're a full PlayStation guy, because this game kind of feels like the old PlayStation games. You guys might not
Right.
know this about me, but I used to have every console back in the day. Okay, so I can sit there and tell you, right? It's not that it's so much story driven, but there's just a formula to the game that makes it feel
Hmm.
very 90s
Yeah.
thus far that I'm playing it, right? And so this is a big problem, right? That people that are supposed gamers, right, are not willing to take the chance on the game. Now, if you're willing
Yep.
to pay $70 or not, fine. But as far as long as games have been around, this industry has been around, most people do not buy the game day one,
Hmm.
right? This is why there's always a Mario Party. There's always going to be a Mario Kart. There's always going to be a Super Mario or Mario game, right? They're going to take another 5 years probably to make Zelda. Or when people get upset and complain, then they'll just rehash another Zelda, right? PlayStation does the same thing, right? This is why you have those type of games. But if you guys say that you're gamers and you want the industry to be artistic and creative, but you guys don't support it, right? Then then it's gonna go away.
Yeah.
And I, for one, I don't care. I don't care because I've been there, and I'm still there.
Hmm.
The idea of Xbox is one of the greatest things I've ever seen.
Yep.
You have Asha Sharma saying that they're losing money on this stuff, right? That these deals that
Hmm.
they're making with the companies are disadvantageous to Microsoft themselves, and they got a new sheriff in town. Dude, it's over,
Yeah.
right? It's
Yeah.
the bottom
Yeah.
line right now, and you guys have nobody to blame but yourselves, right? So I don't want to hear you whining and moaning. You guys will, right? And I'm
Hmm.
just gonna go into your little comment section and snipe you, right? Because that gives me pleasure to do that, right? I mean, because at the end of the day, man, it's over, dude. It's the good feels. I was like everybody else, bro. Unlimited when they
Hmm.
bought Activision King Blizzard went through, and they had that video, right? They
Yeah.
played that video. It's a wonderful day. I was like, oh, right. Well, those days are gone.
Yeah.
Those days are gone. Right? You guys had it so good. You guys just couldn't appreciate what you had, and I'm going to enjoy the
Nope.
fall, personally.
No.
Yeah.
And yeah, man. Gosh, what you said was so spot on. You, the point that you make, that you're constantly making, that I really like, is the idea, is the responsibility on all these so-called gamers,
Yeah.
because that is what the last 8 years were basically. I remember watching XO 18 and 19 where they announced that they got Compulsion Games and Ninja Theory at E3 2018
Yeah.
and all that stuff. I remember all that stuff. I remember the fears that, oh, Xbox is going to buy these companies and make them do what they want, and they made it a point. They made it a point every single time that these companies had creative freedom. I remember all that. I remember oh man, these AAA games suck. We need more creativity, more smaller games. I remember seeing that ad nauseum, and yet it seems like we're the only ones who played it. We're
Yeah.
the only ones who talked about it, who put on gameplay on it or anything, or who talked about how great these games were. You know what I'm saying? It and so, this is why, I'm not mad at the last leadership. They saw what they thought was what the people wanted, and they gave it to them. And by the way, this is nothing new. All right, this idea that creativity has almost rarely ever been the biggest factor in success in all medium. Sorry guys, the best comic book writers weren't the best selling. It was the most popular superhero more often than not. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
You know, it's really funny
The
too. You brought up comic
uh
books because a lot of these guys didn't become famous to after the fact. Yeah,
yeah. Oh yeah, exactly.
yeah,
Exactly. Exactly. Say forever.
huh?
A lot of them really didn't. You know what I'm saying? As great as Animal Man or Sandman were,
Hmm.
the comic, only the hardcore comic book fans were reading them. All
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
the average person was reading your Batman and Spider Man.
You know what it is, bro? Because we love comic books in general,
Hmm.
so we're always looking for the next fix,
Yes.
and that's what I count as a comic book person. That's what I
Yeah.
count as a gamer, man. Right? The fact that people did not buy South of Midnight pisses me off,
Hmm.
right? Because
Yes.
that entails everything that you guys wanted
Yep.
in a game that you begged Microsoft to put out there, right? And then I knew it too because as soon as it came out, people played it. It goes,
Mhm.
well, the level design and this is not exactly what I wanted and all this crap, you know. And I was just listening to this, and I knew already, dude. I
Yeah.
knew like Phil could have like we say that all the time, right? Phil could have cured cancer, and you guys would be pissed off,
Mm.
you know.
Yeah. Yeah. They'd be like, why does malaria still exist?
Yeah, exactly, right. And then Indiana Jones, another one,
Hmm.
right? So at the end
Oh,
of the
that's
day,
right. They asked for the license games too. Yeah,
yeah,
Xbox was giving that to them. That's right. I
yeah,
almost forgot about that narrative.
yeah. And you know what? This stuff costs money.
Yes.
Yeah, it costs money to make this stuff, guys. I don't know if you know this, because a
Apparently they
lot of you
don't.
guys, yeah, because a lot of you guys, like you guys like Steam, right? And
Hmm.
if you like Steam, I have no problem with it. But you guys like those sales, right? You like paying $2 for this, $1
Yeah.
for that, right? What do you think's gonna happen? What do you guys think is gonna happen if you guys don't spend money? You guys are spending money. You're just not spending it on gaming,
Yeah.
and it
Hmm.
just blows my mind that you guys have the balls, right, to actually talk about it.
Yeah.
You guys should just be quiet and just enjoy from the background your little
Hmm.
$1, $2, $5 games. And look, I'm
Yeah.
not hating on you if you can't afford it. I get it, right? We all make our choices,
Hmm.
right? But at the end of the day, you have to be honest with yourself and say that that's not gonna keep it going,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. It's
Businesses
not
across this country are
sustainable.
shutting down because people are not paying money to businesses to stay open,
Yeah.
right?
I mean, listen, that's absolutely spot on. And the crazy part is even businesses that seem like they're doing it right on paper aren't reaping
Yeah,
any benefits
yeah,
for it.
because people are broke.
Yeah.
You guys are broke, and I can guarantee you this: had they reached those milestones when it came to Game Pass, your Game Pass would
Hmm.
probably be $9.99 right now.
Yeah.
Just a little FYI, because you know what they could do? They could just
Hmm.
tone it back, but because they have the installed game base, and it's a constant revenue stream, right? Because that would have gave them more freedom to be more
Yeah.
creative. And if there's anybody that's creative, of all the companies that are out there, Microsoft with Xbox is one of them. Dude,
Yeah.
I have 124,000 Bing points right now,
Hmm.
right? For just doing simple things for playing games,
Yeah.
right? Which I can turn in for real cash and then spend it in their store,
Hmm.
which is smart on their part because they know I'm going to buy more than what I'm probably getting out of it,
Yep.
right? But that's very consumer friendly. To listen to people complain about Game Pass. Now, I get it when the 29.99 thing happened,
Hmm.
right? But I'm telling you guys, man, had they hit their milestones, bro, we'd be having a totally different conversation. But because you
Yeah.
have a lot of hateful people out there that don't want to see Microsoft succeed, right? And a lot of the lemmings and the sheep out there, you guys just like kneecap yourselves, right? And
Hmm.
now I hear you guys complaining about the cost of gaming, and I laugh. I hope GTA 6 is $200. I hope it's
It's
$200.
$100, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. I
it's
want it to go to
$100.
150 at least, right? Because once all this stuff starts going away, right, and you have no other options, it's in the best interest of those companies now.
Hmm.
Because I don't play GTA 6, right? I don't play GTA. The last GTA I played was Vice City. Man, I tried out the other ones. I just couldn't get into it. I
Yeah.
went as far as 5, but I just couldn't get into those games, right? But that's the last time I played was like I really played it was Vice City. So
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying. So hey, sucks to be you guys. Sorry, brother. Can I just read this real quick? Fallout should be
Yeah, of course.
coming sooner at Faded Blaze 89. Seems Asha is pushing more for the big games. That's Global Poll, right? And shout out to
Oh man.
and shout out to
I'm
Faded.
sorry, but
No,
see, every time somebody makes a good point, whether it's you or the chat, it
yeah,
just gives me that another idea of, oh, now the reason, because remember,
mhm,
we need more than Halo, Gears, and Forza,
yeah,
and that's exactly what they gave us. And by
yeah,
the way, I was the biggest proponent. I loved it because y'all know, if y'all listen to me long enough, y'all know I love Obsidian. So
yeah,
I love Grounded One, Grounded Two, Avowed, The Outer Worlds Two.
mhm,
They've been cooking. They've been their best like non big studio, if or however you want to put it. By to me by far. I mean, they seem to be the only ones who put the 8 years of funding to good use, and
mhm,
has a lot of success because of it. But yeah, so when Google poll, and I didn't mean to cut you off reading the
Oh no,
comment. It's just that when he said that Fable's coming sooner, see like Asha's pushing, it did kind of just that light bulb went off. Like, oh, that's right. They did the other all other kind of games because that's what people said they wanted. But again, what people say and what they do are have been two different things for as long as I can remember. You know what I'm saying?
yeah,
People hate sport games, yet every year I see
yeah,
they're the best selling games.
yeah. People hate COD. People hate COD, and there's companies that wish that people hated their games like they hated COD, right?
Yeah,
Because it still sells. Now it might not sell as the other previous thing. Maybe they didn't hit some of the benchmarks that they wanted as far as money. Right, I get that. But at the end of the day,
yeah,
everybody, I could jump on COD right now and get into a game. That's never a problem unless the network is down.
yeah.
Now there's a lot of
Agreed.
cheaters on there, which I think they should work
Hmm.
on. Yeah, Faded Blaze. Sony was a third-party machine in the early '90s. Yeah, 100%. They paid a lot of that for that too. Because they're you remember Faded? They're the ones that issued in free agency. That's what I like to call it. That's why a lot of people went with Sony, right? Because
Yeah,
they had a different dynamic than the other companies did at that time. Which is why we are where we are now. Now that's another reason.
yep,
Gogo says, "I'm not against people preferring PS over Xbox. Just be real. Why the reasons people love Xbox? It's like foreign to a lot of non-Xbox players. Yeah, yeah, and that's why they're gonna suffer. And I'm gonna love every
yeah,
minute of it.
yeah. They. I mean, the level which they're uninformed about Xbox, it makes me legitimately wonder who what they're watching and who they're watching.
Yeah,
Because I know I'll never sit through a Colin Moriarty 4 hour podcast or nothing,
hmm,
but he must be saying just like the most inaccurate and dumbest stuff for people to just. For example, the amount of people since Sony announced that news with the physical this, and then the amount of people I saw who didn't know Xbox had a refund policy
yeah,
blew me away.
yeah,
Because I saw a lot of I mean, Xbox and PlayStation, their refund policy. I was like, Xbox don't have a refund. What are you talking about? I played this game called Scars Above for an hour and a half. Told Xbox I wanted a refund. They gave me a refund for it. Matter of fact, on Xbox, they got it's either how many times you play. Well, I think it's 2 hours
hmm,
and or 2 weeks to get a refund, and they'll refund it. I've never. Let me put it this way: I've never had a refund not go through with Xbox.
yeah. Me either.
Yeah, but since everybody been on PlayStation these last 13 years, they think that they're the same, and they don't understand that. So you know what this might not, this probably won't happen, but hopefully this gives an eye opener just how much Sony been screwing them. Because I didn't know how bad Sony's refund policy until recently either. So when I'm telling people, no, it's not like that on Xbox, they're blown away that Xbox refund policy is like Steam's, and everybody kisses Steam's ass. So by logic, they should kiss Xbox ass, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, I don't think I see what you're 100% what you're saying, right? But because a lot of this stuff too is either they don't know or they know but
Hmm.
they don't want Xbox to have something positive,
Yeah.
right? So that Xbox tax that we talk about all the time is
Yep.
100%,
Yep.
right? If you never believed in it until this week, you should, with
Yeah.
everything going on, right? Um, and it's real,
Hmm.
and we're stuck with it.
Yeah.
This is why I always said, man, if I was Microsoft, I would buy, right, the studios,
Hmm.
or the publishers that print money,
Yeah.
right? This is my biggest gripe with Phil. Phil, I didn't have a problem with Phil direction was, right? But had he done some of the things that I feel he should have done, right, as far as being a little bit more cutthroat, I think
Hmm.
him and his vision would be in better shape right now, right?
Yeah.
That's why he kind of ranted in a video about a week or two ago,
Hmm.
about at his core. I wish he would have realized that if he doesn't act cutthroat like he should have,
Yeah.
a lot of his vision would still be around now
Yeah.
because the money would be there, right? Right. So
Hmm.
he wouldn't have such a hard time defending what he wanted to do, right? And then when times get lean, right? Look, dude, you guys know the economy. I'm pretty sure a lot of you guys know the economy is bad, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you hear people say, "Oh, how are people able to go out and eat? Oh, how are people driving these nice cars? Oh, how are people doing this? How are people doing that?" Number one, look. I'll get biblical on you guys. You guys shouldn't covet. Okay, that's number one.
Mm-hmm.
That's very biblical, right? Don't covet, right? Because when you do that and you spend time looking at what other people have or don't have, because you don't know what the people did to get what they have or what they don't have.
Yeah.
Okay, what you should focus is on yourself, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I say that because a lot of people will do that. They'll look around, right, and not realize that there's people that live different lives from them or made different choices. And in making those different choices, put them in the situation they are now. Some of it's fair, some of it's not fair, right?
Yeah.
Right. But at the end of the day, there's still a market out there, right? And to me, had Phil been more cutthroat with this, right? That's why I always said on my videos, and I know people hated me for saying this, but I just keep on saying it. Dude, they should have just went scorched earth, right, and do everything they can, right, to make sure that they were the number one across all parameters. But especially when
Yeah.
it came to the money, because they had the money to do that. Matt Booty
Mm-hmm.
himself said that we could spend Sony out of existence. They should have went with
Yep.
that. They should have went with that. Right. That's that. At that point in time, that's what they should have done.
Yeah.
And I think if they would have had done that, then Phil would still be around.
Yeah.
Right. But now we have Asha, and we're in the age of Asha, like my video says.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm looking forward to it just to see.
Yeah. Yeah. Same here. And and I don't, with Xbox, I think they're still gonna release really good games. We're just not gonna see the smaller games there, like your Southland Midnights and stuff anymore. But in Exile's game, Clockwork Revolution looks fantastic. Fable looks unbelievable. Gears E Day this October is gonna blow people's minds.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's why I say that Xbox is better suited for this current economy than Sony and Nintendo, because Sony releases like what, one or two games a year. I mean, they're worse off than people
Yeah.
keep. People. Oh man, it just. Oh man, I wish people just paid attention, but
Yeah.
that's just not going to happen. But hey, like you said, man, they're the ones who are going to be reaping the consequences, because we still got. Listen, if anything happens, we still got Game Pass. You know what I'm saying? And I'm looking at the coming soon Dune Awakening. That looks like it could be interesting. This Deadshot attacks, but the bus with the bus game. It,
Mhm.
it looks like another spiritual successor to Jet Set Radio, but with the bus. You know what I'm saying? We
Yeah.
still got this stuff. Gears, Stranger Than Heaven, which looks very creative. That Persona 4 remake. You know what I'm saying? We still got that stuff accessible through Game Pass, and I don't care if it's $23 or $30 a month. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? The fact that I can still play all these games, I'm not. We're not going to be. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be like what's an example I can use here? People who paid off their car before the economic downturn we've been dealing with for
Yeah.
years now.
Like me, I'm
You know
one
what
of
I'm
them.
saying? They don't gotta. Yeah, you don't gotta. I haven't had a car note in 5 years.
Yep.
You
Me
know what I'm
too.
saying?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? So we don't got that issue. Versus others who now pay in $800-900 car notes
Yeah. That's
in
crazy.
this economy.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Or
and
mortgages that
that,
went up to 3,000 a month.
yeah. And,
Yeah.
and for those in the take advantage of what's called homestead. I think most places should have homestead laws in your states.
Yeah. I'm on a
Yes,
homestead. Yeah.
yeah. Same here.
I'm on a homestead, and that was a conscious choice, guys. Back when the economy wasn't bad. That's what I'm
Yeah,
talking about. You make choices, right?
yeah.
Now, did we wanna get the big mansion, right?
Hmm.
Which actually would have been a good investment if I'm being honest, right? Because those houses are $2 million each now.
Hmm.
We could have got it for 450, 500,000. But we were looking
Right,
at starting a family, having kids, all this stuff, right?
right.
Again, guys, life is about choices.
Yeah.
And right now, a lot of you guys make bad choices when I'm talking about gaming, right?
Hmm.
And the debt will be due eventually.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's to me, it's due now. You
Yeah.
know what I'm saying? It's due now. which is why you're seeing all this chaos. Listen, Asha didn't say the gaming industry isn't healthy just to be negative. All right, she sees even more than what we see, and we already see the cracks right now.
Yeah.
You don't think that she's seeing what's inside the cracks, what's deep in them holes that we're just seeing? Come on, guys.
And still be magnanimous, right? No, none
Yeah.
of these studios closed,
Mm-hmm.
right? They gave them options. I
Yep.
saw that Double Fine, love Double Fine, right? That's
Mm-hmm.
going to be, to me, that's going to hurt the most because Double Fine puts out these games that after I'm playing COD, after I'm trying to get my
Mm-hmm.
big points, after I play what's that game? Fantasio, that one we
Yeah.
had. Yeah, that
Yeah.
game, right? I put in like about 14 hours just to find out that I played it wrong. Now I got to start all over again, right? So then after I go through that experience, right, I get stuck on a stage and I realize I have to restart the entire game. Maybe I want to play Keel. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just a little change of pace, something to like
Yep.
cleanse the appetizer or cleanse the palate, right? But you live in a generation of gamers, man, that can't appreciate this stuff.
No, man.
I'll be honest with you, I'm done, bro. I'm done. I'm
Yeah.
done. Let the chips fall
I,
where they may.
I've been done with gamers for even longer. It's been a while. Listen, after I got over my I hate gamers feeling from last year, I've been done with them this whole time.
Well,
I don't care what.
I'm starting a new frontier. I hate influencers.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my next thing.
Oh
Uh,
yeah, yeah. Hey, look, I'm not that. That's why I got off social media because I don't see I don't see that BS anymore. So my life has been good without all that.
yeah,
I could imagine how rough it is. What you guys are seeing now.
yeah, absolutely ridiculous. Because with the economy tightening it, a lot of these guys are
Hmm.
forced to trade on their morals and principles.
Ah, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
They got to make money. Right?
yeah.
It's all fun and games when the money's running in, but when it gets
Hmm.
when the times get tough, that's when you see the true character of
Yep,
people.
yep.
And a lot of them show their ass. I'm just gonna be perfectly honest with you.
Hey,
Um,
I believe you.
Yeah, it's amazing. But so look, Google Poll says because this is big news. The bigger news was how 500 plus movies revoked from PS Store and personal libraries. Bro, if this happened to Xbox, right? If this happened to Microsoft, dude, this would
Hmm.
be, dude, it would be the apocalypse, man. I mean, it would be
Yeah,
nonstop 24/7 news coverage.
and, and
Right?
and and they don't even own them. They didn't even purchase the movies on Xbox.
Yeah,
And that's kind of that was my views on that. Even nobody purchased all 500 movies of whatever studio they lost a license for. At most, they probably purchased one or two. Let's be realistic with stuff like this.
mm-hmm.
If unless it was like a Disney, Warner Brothers, MGM type license, if chances are you probably had a few of those movies. So the average person didn't even notice unless it was their favorite movie. They probably didn't even notice. People sometimes when you're heavy into these hobbies, comics, games, and so on, and film and entertainment, you think that everybody thinks like you,
Right,
but the reality is, outside of us who just really loves it like that, the average person don't be caring. Apparently 39 people pre-ordered GTA 6 Sega, and I guarantee
yeah,
you, the vast majority of those do not give a damn that it's not having a physical release. They're not canceling the game that they pre-order digitally just to buy it on disc, just to show them who's the man or whatever. It's
yeah.
it's not it's a non-issue to them.
No, 100%. I agree with you. Right, because
And,
there's a
and
lot of people that don't follow it like kind of like how we do. Right, and to be honest with you, we're not as hardcore as we used to be either. Because there's no point really, right?
oh, hello. Oh,
Oh yeah, can you hear me?
yeah.
Okay, okay, I got you, I got you.
Yeah. I can hear you now. I can hear you now. Yeah, what are you saying?
I mean,
You saying
yeah,
there's
no,
no
I
point?
100% agree with you, dude. These guys, that's why Microsoft would do stuff like, if you
Mhm.
buy the stuff on Microsoft, movies anyway, that was their
Yeah.
big thing, right? So like a lot of the movies. Now, what ended up happening was it kind of broke off, and I kind of drifted more towards Xbox anyway.
Hmm.
But if you would buy your game, if you buy your movies on other services, they would also be able to be viewed on Xbox. But that kind of changed years
Right.
ago, and so I would just buy my stuff on Xbox, right? Because if you
Right.
buy it on Xbox, it would go over to Fandango or other
Hmm.
streaming services. Now that's kind of I think that's eventually like going to go away, Um,
Yeah.
but I like the fact that Xbox, like even when they shut down their store, they said no, you'll be
Mhm.
able to keep your stuff.
Yeah.
Because honestly, they're the only ones that are concerned about that kind of stuff. And I'm not saying that it
Yes,
might
they
not go
are.
away later on, like stuff happens.
Well, that and they're probably the only ones who could afford to consistently afford these licenses
Yeah,
because licensing fees are not cheap. You know
yeah.
what I'm saying?
Nope, they're not.
One
Especially
day
when these
Sony's gonna
companies
lose.
are no, but especially when these companies are hurting for money too. That's the
Yeah,
bigger problem. Yeah,
yeah, exactly. Guys, Sony's gonna lose the Marvel license one day. You
yeah,
do know that, right?
yeah. They don't have the financials, man.
Yeah.
Like as bad a picture they paint for Microsoft.
Hmm.
Microsoft, um, like Microsoft can just do that by themselves. Like how
Yeah.
many times have we seen them like buy something like it's not working out? Okay, now I know
Yeah.
Microsoft,
Exactly.
Even the mighty Microsoft now. If you guys have seen their stock and see the
Hmm.
situation in the tech industry, right? Even they have to. This is why you're having the changes you're having.
Yeah. Exactly.
I like what Pepe says. Pepe says, "Be funny if Xbox keeps doing discs on next console and puts out ad attacking Sony in his PS6 slogan. We do what Sony don't on Xbox. You buy digital or just copy of your games." I've always felt, Pepe, that Microsoft should extend the Microsoft Store,
Hmm.
especially when they have physical stores, to
Yeah.
include stuff like that, like doing direct to consumer service, and not just with their games
Hmm.
or on discs, but also like their uh, Xboxes themselves. Like if they want to
Yeah.
do a special edition.
I'm with you there. I'm with you there. That's a good comment, Pepe. That actually be brilliant if they did that.
Yeah,
I'll be down for that. You know what I'm saying? And me and Hebot would be happy because we because I was showing Hebot how depressing my local Target was. They don't sell games at my, you know what I'm saying? I live in a major city, you know what I'm saying? And
yeah,
they don't sell physical games like that. There's just one tiny section. That's really it, man. And that's why the Microsoft Store went away, because realistically, people just don't go to the brick and mortar stores like that. Most people do their shopping online, or or if they do go, it's like your Costco's and WalMarts.
yeah. No, 100%. Hey, Hebot, I sent it to you on Twitter. The link, if you want to come in. I'll probably be on only for like 20 minutes though. That's why normally I don't do these podcasts because I gotta get up early in the morning.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hopefully, I'm not keeping you up, man. Because it's late here too. But I just want to jump on because
Oh no,
I
no,
don't have
like
the
for you
time. Right,
guys, I
I'm
think.
back. I'm back in school, so I don't have the time to just do podcasts like I want to
Yeah,
right now.
no, no, 100%, dude. Because what it is, man, is just like for me, right, with my job, like they
Hmm.
kind of moved up the table on my
Hmm.
career path, right?
Ah,
So I gotta like turn two now. It's
yeah,
just the way
yeah,
that it
yeah,
worked out. So and it's
yeah.
good. It's for the good, but I want to try. I want to try to do this because I really want to cover this stuff.
Hmm. Yeah,
Um,
yeah. I wanted to badly cover this in the PlayStation news this week, but just can't really make the time at the moment.
no, I get it, dude.
Yeah.
100%. See what says. Pepe. Yeah, welcome, Pepe. Um,
Pepe ordered a lot of games. Respect, man.
Blood of Dawn
Yeah.
Walker, Beast of Reincarnation, Deluxe Edition, Aphelion. Yeah, that was actually pretty cool, bro. I mean, I'm playing it
Yeah,
now
yeah.
so far. Marvel's Wolverine, Stranger Than Heaven. Yeah,
Yeah, we
Fable,
getting
Valiant Mortals,
everything.
Tomb Raider. Yeah, Fable will be my game for next year.
Y'all same here.
Pepe says, oh, and he also says Musha. We have the Sword Steelbook Edition, Control Resonance Steelbook Edition, Halo Campaign Evolved. Yeah, that comes out this month. The
Oh, that's right at the end of the
new
month.
campaigns. Yeah. Oh, hey, Mr. Kima. Sorry, I finally got to your comment. I think Asha will be more cutthroat than Phil Spencer. Yeah, yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
It looks like it. Like so when the guys, what's the name of the guys that did that shooter game, the teacup one? What's the name of that?
Klein or Kiln, I mean, from Double Fine.
Oh no, the one with the teacup, the shooter. Um,
The teacup shooter.
oh my gosh, dude, I can't remember it. See if Heba was in your APU, but see.
Yeah.
Uh, that one indie game they helped publish. That was by the husband and wife. Oh, here's Heba. Heba, what was the name of that shooter game with the teacup?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you. What was the name?
Run that
You,
by me again. What game? Which one?
yeah, that one by the husband and wife team way back in the day. They did that
Oh,
game.
Oh,
Cuphead.
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 Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm?
Yeah. So if the guys from Cuphead go to Asha and say, hey, can we also do this and do that? She'll be like, dude, you signed the contract. I hope she's that.
Hmm.
I hope she's like that.
You know, what were you guys touching base on? What was going on?
No, so Mr. Kima said I think Asha will be more cutthroat than Phil. And I hope so, Mr. Kima. I really do.
Oh, yeah. That's why she did what she did today.
Yeah.
And the announcement's like, everybody said, well, why did they let go of Undead Lab? I'm like, because Undead Lab hasn't done a fucking game in 8 years. That's the last time State of Decay 2 came out.
Yeah.
It was 8 years ago. I didn't realize it was that long. And they've been working on State of
Yeah.
Decay.
It's been a
And
minute.
so they're like, you know what? Okay, no problem. Do State of Decay 3, finish it up, whatever. But you guys gonna have to, hey, what's up? You guys gonna have to figure it out and finish it up on your own time because they sold them to somebody. They didn't say to who they sold them to. And same thing like Ninja Theory, they sold them to somebody. But bro, 8 fucking years? Holy shit. The same thing like Perfect Dark. The motherfuckers was working on that shit 8 fucking years and they only had a tech demo. Bro,
Yeah.
Sony don't do that shit. Allow that shit. Why should Xbox? People think that, and then the fucking funny part is, like I told you earlier, Unlimited in the chat. Even though I'm saying forever, I don't know if you were there or not, but in the chat show how all these people are trying to act like, oh my god, Microsoft takes studios and destroys them, bro. I put it up and I showed it. I'm probably do a video by myself sometime during the week, but
Yeah.
Ninja Theory was going to go bankrupt when they got acquired
Mhm.
by Xbox. So was what's their face? Double Fine. Same thing. They were going bankrupt. That's why they had
Yeah.
Psychonauts on the Kickstarter, and Microsoft helped them finish it by funding the rest of the game once they acquired them. They basically gave them life to do more stuff and keep going for a little bit longer and get some stability. And Asha could have been a bitch. She could have said, oh, we're going to take away all the IPs, we're going to keep them. She can't let them keep the IP. Yeah, you know what that means. They're going to bring whatever they made, whether it was The Keeper, whether it was fucking stuff from Midnight. They're going to bring it every time to other consoles. When they didn't get helped by Sony or Nintendo, it was all Xbox. Just like what they did with Press Play when they did Comic Jumper, when they did Max versus the Brotherhood, like they did with fucking Armature Studios, with Recore, just like they did with fucking Insomniac, with Sunset Overdrive, which coincidentally people keep forgetting or don't realize that the goddamn engine running that Wolverine and those Spider-Man games was the Sunset Overdrive engine that they built with Microsoft's funded R&D funded money, right? Just like fucking Remedy with the Source Light engine. They fucking built it for Quantum Break. What happened? They're using that shit now for all of the games they've been doing from the fucking Control series, right? Saying that in their same universe. And you know, the way they used it for Alan Wake 2.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Oh, Microsoft takes them, believe they destroyed them. I heard this fucking dude that he's been around for a while and I can't stand him because he was another one that used to always play sides and always talking shit about Microsoft, play sides all the time. He does retro shit, but he was doing a video the other day. I forgot his name. He has a fucking beard. Oh my God, I'm trying to remember his fucking name. Anyway, he was saying, you know, during the PS4, because he was talking about how PlayStation is bugging with the, you know, making no disc or whatever for the future. And that they were, you know, they were on such a different level, doing so much for the industry. They helped Yu Suzuki with Shenmue 3. I'm like, they ain't fucking helped Yu Suzuki with shit. They put that man on the stage. They say he was doing a Kickstarter. And fucking Yoshida tweeted out that he gave him $49 to help him with the fucking game. Like,
That was freaking sad, dude.
like,
That was
bro,
another knife in the womb, bro.
why you think Shenmue 3 came out garbage? Because he needed real money.
Yeah.
And he only was able to round up, I think it was 6-7 million to make the game. Like, that's not enough. Not to do a proper Shenmue with new, for this day and age, a proper sequel. There was no fucking way. And he had a nerd.
The amount of games we're seeing right now, like, Sega canceled their Super game.
Mm-hmm.
Right? That's probably because Microsoft was hoping to fund that crap, dude.
Mm-hmm.
Sega canceled what?
The Super game that they were working on.
Yeah, the
Oh
Super
yeah,
game.
okay.
Yeah. Dude, that is so sad. That is so sad that it had to come to this. But dude, I'm glad. Look, we ripped the Band-Aid off, right?
Yeah.
Today was the first day. And I'm 100% with you, Ebon, man. This is something that's needed. It's time for some tough medicine.
Look, she said exactly what we were saying from before.
Yeah.
That Phil gave them, each developer, way too much leniency to do things in their own pace with nobody getting involved. And what that did was hemorrhage money for them and screwed them over long term. Because they got no results in some cases with a bunch of money being out there. Just like they did with Scalebound, 100 million. And then no motherfuckers were doing other games for other companies. Yeah. And then finally admitted years later after Microsoft got all the backlash, oh, yeah, it was us. We fucked up. And then everybody was blaming Microsoft for that. Right?
Yeah.
The same way they fucking did with these motherfuckers. What were the other? Oh, when they did Fable Legends. Oh, we don't like it. All the Fable fans, we don't like the way it is. No, we don't like the way it is. 75 million down the toilet with fucking goddamn Coalition, with the motherfucking or Initiative. They build a new studio. Boom. 8 years later, Perfect Dark tech demo. What? Bro, Microsoft's problem was Phil was too fucking nice with everybody. He was too attached to the people in the industry because most of those people he knew like all his life since he was at Microsoft, right? And so in them, instead of being respectful and being more assertive, doing what they were supposed to do, like, other developers were doing under their wing, like Obsidian. Whether I like Obsidian or not, the motherfuckers made like 6 games in like 3 years. You see what I'm saying?
I'm the Obsidian fanboy.
Right. But that's return on investments, Unlimited. That's how it's supposed to be.
Yeah.
Everybody else didn't do that.
And I'd like to hear your thoughts on this because we mentioned that the great irony of all this was that one of the reasons why they had so much freedom was because you remember gamers were saying at the time, oh, these studios don't need to have people going down their back and telling them what to make and all this stuff. So
Unlimited.
So they got what they wanted, but
Unlimited.
It ended up costing too much. Yeah.
I put that shit on Twitter because I know you don't really be on Twitter anymore. I put that shit up there on Twitter the other day. I was like, yo, didn't you motherfuckers were the ones talking shit saying that the reason why Bungie left Microsoft was because, and I put it up because it's out there, was because they wanted to do other things and supposedly Microsoft had them tied down and didn't let them do nothing but Halo. That was the narrative back then, and that's why Bungie left. Then goes Sony and buys them for like 3.6 billion, and what ended up happening? Bungie's about to close down. They fired everybody because they didn't produce shit. They didn't do shit. They didn't make them no money, right?
Yeah.
Marathon. Nobody wanted to play Marathon. Nobody wanted that shit. And Destiny 2, they fucking stopped feeding it correctly, and people stopped playing it. So again. Listen, at the end of the day, if any company wants to be fruitful going forward, and especially in the time and era that we're living now, with the economy, the cost, the way, because the other thing is people are not buying games the way they used to. They're just not. And the reason for that, why, is because games, number one, are expensive. Number two, a lot of them, they're not even on the actual disc, even though they should be, right? Because there's no excuse for them not to be. Like, there's no reason for a campaign to be tied to the internet. If you're playing the campaign, it should only be the online component. That's it. A campaign should not be tied to no internet. right? And then the fact that Microsoft fully supports 100 gig disk, and yet they're still stuck on the 50 gig disk. They haven't changed to 100 gig disk. Meanwhile, Sony did change to 100 gig disk. Like, I understand that they're trying to do Play Anywhere. With buy one game, you get another one, but change to the 100 gig disk. That way, the games would actually be on the disc, and you need maybe one or two discs, and you put the full games on those discs. Like in the case of GTA, they would need 3 because it's like 300 gigs or some shit, right? And then just see the online component where it's completely digital, which makes sense. And then they want to also count these sales digitally when they're counting games that never even had a physical release, which is bullshit. Because if you didn't make a physical release, how are you going to count that and say they weren't going to buy a physical? You can't say that because you never gave the option. Why didn't we get an option for fucking games like Hellblade 2? Supposedly Limited Run was going to do it, and they still never did it. How come we had to get a Hi-Fi Rush physical via Limited Run or through someone else? You know what I'm saying? That it fucking took, look how long it took. They took literally fucking like 2 years later, 3 years almost to get it. Unlimited, I thought you got yours. I got mine like maybe a week or two ago. And then on top of that, you fucking got Gears of War Reloaded that came out physically for PlayStation, but yet they didn't even make a copy for the Xbox. Like, what the fuck? Our game, and we didn't even get a physical copy, which is what I was bitching about the whole time when I was talking to brother E-Rock and things, saying that Xbox forgot about the console gamer, which is their core audience first. Like, bro, you can't do that. You can't do it. And look, Asha came out today and said it, that they didn't have no return on investments with none of the games they put multiplayer on PS5. I'm glad she said it. I'm glad she said it.
I mean,
Because
we
I
talked
said
about
that.
it, right, bro? We knew that, right?
Yeah, we said it.
Yeah.
Because they don't buy the
How many
movies,
times
so
did I
they're
used to put that image on screen?
Mhm.
You bought other sales.
Well, we said it, no
200,000.
sale. And
Yeah.
remember, I also said, I guarantee you it cost them more money to port it over so it could read on the PS5 because it's a different architecture,
Yeah.
just to port it over than what they actually made in sales. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, listen, it's a new beginning. That's what the reset is. Then I was showing people because they were talking all this shit. Oh, look, they fired 4,000 people. I'm like, bro, look what they have a bunch of people that are outsourced, right? Which is people that work on the outside that come in and help them. And that's basically the people that they're letting go of, a lot of them. Because that means they have too many people with the same position that are getting paid for the same job.
Yeah, and
So-
Asher said that as well with 14 chain routes. Hold on, I got
I know
the
what you're
article
talking.
right.
I know what you're talking. Read it. I know what you're talking.
Yeah, 14 layers of management. That's it.
Yeah, that's
You
what
know,
she
and-
said. We cut in the fat.
Yeah,
And let's be real, because people are trying to make it seem like, oh my God, none of those people, God bless them, are going to the unemployment office like Unlimited had to do when he was going, right? None of those people, or like Sega Forever did when he was going through shit, or like I would when right? They get compensated for a really good amount. And in a lot of cases, they even help them find a new position at another place.
Mm-hmm.
Just like they didn't close them down.
and they got great. It's something called a severance package.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. They
got
get
some of the best-
compensated. They get a
best out
nice.
there.
Yeah.
They keep their health care.
Mhm.
I forgot
Active.
how many months after unemployment.
Active, like almost 2 years. It's almost 2 years.
Yeah,
That's what I
Yeah.
said. It's not like they throw them to the wall or to the wolves and they got to go to unemployment and stand online and get unemployment. That's how that works for people with these type of positions. These people get
No.
paid well and they get taken care of well. And it takes them maybe a month at most, maybe 2 to find another job. Look at what the fuck this motherfucker did when they did Hi-Fi Rush, the Tango Gameworks, right? They bought them. They gave them all this shitload of money. A year later, oh, I want to retire. I've been doing this for too long. You know, the Japanese do it. He was homeboys with Hideki Kamiya. I'm retiring. And he goes, leaves Xbox. 2 months later, oh, I'm opening a new studio. Whoever want to come with me with all that Xbox money he had. the fucking slime ball. And then when the team was down and out because he had left, he was the main core leader of that team. They couldn't really do other stuff without the same guidance that he was giving them because he was the core principal person in there. They were saying that their spirits weren't high, that they weren't really sure. Hi-Fi Rush wasn't doing as well as it should have, right? Oh, this game should have been on Nintendo. It would have sold trillion copies when Nintendo didn't sell shit. This game would have sold on PlayStation. It didn't sell shit, right? So they went. ZeniMax said, okay, we're going to sell you off so we don't have to close you off because you're a smaller studio. Let somebody else take. So this is somebody else. And what have they been doing? Nothing. They haven't even made an announcement yet. It's been 2 years. Because people don't understand the developers can get bought, but it's not just like that. If somebody buys you, they're not just going to give you money. You're going to be able to move on and do a big game and do. Look at the people from Ori, Moon Studios. Look how long they've been working on something for the Wicked, right?
Mm-hmm.
Because they made a deal with Xbox to stay exclusive for lifetime with Ori 1 and 2. And when they say, okay, can we put it on Nintendo because we want my money? And they put it there, right? And even though they put it on PC also, they're like, oh no, can we go there? And they made the changes. They'll say, okay, you can do it, but we're not going to publish your next game. And look how long it's been taking. They still haven't been able to publish their game. They got 2 publishers and both publishers quit on them because of the money, I guess, that's being spent to make the game.
Yeah.
Developers have to learn to take accountability, and gamers need to learn to say, yeah, developers are also at fault here. It's not just the companies. You work for somebody. Yeah, Unlimited, you're working for a company and you're getting paid and they give you a certain amount of time and you still ain't done after that certain amount of time. You're going to get fired or let go.
Yeah, and the consequences of that is going to mean more layoffs, more studio closures,
Absolutely.
more games canceled.
It's a domino effect.
And every time that happens, everybody wants to feel sorry for the devs.
But that's what I'm saying. No. They say it right, Unlimited. Because right now you're lying. Say it right. They want to feel sorry for the devs when it comes to Xbox.
Yeah. When it comes to Xbox, yeah, you're right.
When it's Sony, like, well, Sony had to make the right decisions. I mean, at the end of the day, it's a business. They got to survive. You know I'm right, Sega Forever. And that's exactly
the Bungie layoffs were just a week ago, or maybe 2 weeks ago.
And you didn't hear people. You saw 2 videos, maybe. But meanwhile, you had 400 videos alone on Xbox. They're going to close down 50 studios. Yeah. And look, not one studio closed.
Yo, Jez Corden and Windows Central, it seemed like every hour on the hour that he had a new quote-unquote insider telling him that State of K3 was canceled, Obsidian.
And he tried to damage control that. You know that, right?
No, I didn't.
Today he tried to damage control. I should show you the tweet. He tried to say, well, the whole time I fixed it when they said it was this. I fixed that. I said that they were in talks, and then I fixed what I said about the Obsidian. He was damage controlling. Now, motherfucker, shut your fucking pie hole. Yeah. You just got engaged. Concentrate on your loved one, and you getting married soon. And stop fucking spreading fake fucking news because you're an asshole. Because you call yourself an Xbox guy, but you're the first one stirring the fucking pot. You and Jason Potter.
He said 10 years ago that his favorite console was the Nintendo Switch.
Mm-hmm. He remember that too.
He's not an X. That's what got me blocked from him on Twitter at the time when I was following him, because I was like, oh, you're Nintendo, because he started he did his usual shit on Xbox and said, you're a Nintendo fan. Shut your mouth, basically, and he blocked me.
Yeah. No, but he tries to swear, oh no, I'm an Xbox fan. No, you're not, dude. No, you're not. No, you're not.
No,
you guys are the first one to stir the pot.
Xbox fanboy.
Dude, did you not see IGN's bullshit tweet they put up? They were like, Xbox on Go. It was some shit. I have the picture. It's just stupid shit.
Yeah, listen, if there's anything that's from Twitter, just send it to me, because I haven't seen it.
It was some stupid shit. And I'm like, yo, you motherfuckers did not buy Hellblade because it was on Xbox now as an Xbox game. Because the only reason they didn't buy Hellblade 2 was because it was on Xbox. Because as soon as Microsoft acquired it, I remember what PlayStation do, like, these guys betrayed us. Fuck these dudes. We ain't buying shit. when we all know it sold, Hellblade 1 sold on PS4 because at that time they had no games and it was exclusive to the console. So everybody was thirsty for a game. Kind of like what happened with Witcher 3. And that's why it did fairly well. But when 2 was announced and they said they were coming to Xbox and they were an Xbox studio, I remember all these motherfuckers saying, yo, fuck Ninja Theory. Fuck all of them. Yo, what we need to do is we need to boycott these traders. How fucking dare they? I remember that bullshit. Sony didn't even help them make Hellblade. They used cameras from Home Depot. The guy even said in the featurette, they bought Home Depot cameras to do the mocap. And when the game was, they said if Hellblade would not done well, we would not have been able to keep the doors open. And that's why they went to when Microsoft went to them and approached them, that's why they made the deal. And the deal was, okay, we'll buy you, we'll let you have your creative freedom, but we'll buy you. They built them a brand new studio over there, wherever the fuck they live at. Huh? Another money, millions of dollars thrown, buying them a brand new studio with high-tech quality when they said, oh, they're going to be our new mocap team. And now they had to let them fucking go because they were doing Project Mira and that shit was costing money and they weren't even nowhere near done. They didn't even show what the game looked like. Then Hellblade 2, they went, oh, we're going to change it, by the way, and made it into more survival horror. So a lot of people didn't like that either because it was more of a hack and slash like the original. And then fucking out of nowhere, oh yeah, we're gonna make this Senua game then to continue the Hellblade story and finish it off the third game. I'm like, bro, and I guarantee you they were like, oh, can we put it on PlayStation? With Hellblade 2, and look, that shit didn't sell shit. That shit didn't do shit. That shit didn't sell shit. So
once Microsoft bought them, it was over.
Yeah.
Those guys are not going to, because there's nothing to do with any of that. It has everything to do with them hating.
Look, I didn't even know.
And look, we got listen. I got to call spade a spade on this one. Xbox gamers are to blame too. You know, a lot of them didn't play these games. A lot of them didn't buy these games.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying. A lot of them, they were flat out would say that they didn't care about Avowed. Well, Obsidian did well.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I'm just using that as an example. But we could plug in any game that wasn't Halo, Gears, or Forza. You know what I'm saying? So the Xbox fans are also at fault here.
Absolutely.
Because a lot of and a lot of them didn't play it on Game Pass, even though it was their day one.
Yeah.
So so even the Xbox people aren't safe.
Absolutely.
As Asha said, the gaming industry isn't healthy right now.
That's why I say. I was gonna say all the time, right? On Twitter, when I see Xbox dudes, oh, these games were woke or these games were garbage. I'm like, look, I can understand that Sweet Baby was involved with a lot of the games, but they did not convey that in the actual games if you played them. That's how I know you didn't play the game. Because if you did, you would know South of Midnight is not woke. You would know that Hellblade 2 wasn't woke. You would know that the Keeper, somebody guys said the Keeper was woke. I'm like, bro, the game is about a lighthouse. How you gonna think what the lighthouse is? The lighthouse is gay? It's a fucking transgender lighthouse. That's what it is. I was like, bro, stop the cat. You motherfuckers didn't play the game.
No, because you know what it was, dude. That pendulum swung to the other side. And since a lot of these guys don't play game, they just follow the narrative.
It's a fact. It's a fact.
We always talk about, dude. The narrative is a big part of the problem. And the
absolutely. Oh yeah, we're gonna buy these games. We're gonna support them, and then they don't even buy them and support them on Game Pass. Bro, cut the crap. If you have access to it on Game Pass and you still don't play or support or buy the games when they give you a discount, then don't fucking talk shit and act like you weren't part of the problem either. Because absolutely, that's a great point that you brought up, Unlimited. The Xbox fan base, a lot of them are 100% at fault as well. 100%.
I think, just to be honest with you, and I think Asha did a good job of pointing it out.
She did.
They were trying to go that Netflix model, right? So that's where the variety for me in Game Pass comes in. Because it's impossible for everybody to play every single game in Game Pass. But if you have the numbers in Game Pass, and if you have that monthly subscription, right? Because she used the figure of 70 million.
Mm-hmm.
Is that what they're expected to be right now? And they're far from that. Not far, but they're not at that.
No, they have a
Yeah.
good amount. Fine, they have a good amount.
Yeah.
They're at like at 41, I believe. That's what it was.
No,
Mhm.
so that's I was
Yeah.
saying unlimited earlier.
Mm-hmm.
That's I don't have a problem with that because I could see what Phil was doing that way. The only problem I had with Phil was that he was not hardcore, right? So my biggest gripe with Phil is if you can't read the tea leaves, or maybe you did read the tea leaves, but you should have fought back just for the sake of protecting your team,
Yeah.
right?
Well, I
Right?
mean, when it
Regardless,
didn't help. It
if
didn't
they would have hit
help.
but if they
It,
would have hit the 70, if they would have hit those milestones, dude, it wouldn't matter if stuff was woke or not, right? Because on Netflix is the exact same thing. But Netflix started the way that it did, and now it's the biggest behemoth in the room. So that when they do they do a movie that pisses people off of a certain political ilk, it doesn't matter because
yeah.
they have because like with me, dude, like I avoid all that stuff, but I just watch K dramas and anime,
Yeah.
But I mean,
right?
they got content that's not pushing that bullshit either. You know what I mean?
And so when they lose 100,000 people, they still have millions more. You know
Yeah.
what I'm
Yeah.
saying? That's what drives me nuts about Phil. Because I'm like, dude,
No.
had you made COD exclusive, right? Had you bought somebody like or tried to buy somebody like an EA or WB with the content and made that stuff exclusive, right? If you would actually have fought for your teams, we wouldn't be in this mess that we are in now.
Right.
In my
Well,
opinion.
I said, and hello.
Hello, yeah, you're good.
Yeah. Listening.
He knew he was gonna drop.
Nah.
But that's
Yeah.
my only thing. I was like, if you wanted to
Yeah.
save your
He,
legacy,
he it's kind of weird, it's sometimes it's like that. You do 90% of the things right, but that little 10% that you just
oh,
needed to do, you
100%.
don't do, and
100%.
that's the one thing that ends up
Unlimited,
being the one
unlimited.
that's
Well, put the
finished.
nail in the coffin for Xbox, and I'll say it 1,000 times. When they started putting games on PlayStation, you can't do that.
Yeah.
A console is not a PC, and they were coming at it with that PC mentality, and also with Sarah.
Something happened, and that I do not put on Phil or Sarah, and the reason why I will never put that on them is
Oh,
because that in 2023 they hyped up Starfield as the biggest exclusive on Xbox in years. I
mhm.
remember it like it was yesterday because that was my game of the year that year. They hyped up the like Phil was so vocal about these Bethesda games are going to be exclusive. So for that to happen then January, not even like late 2024. What happens in January 2024? That told me something happened and they had to make a decision that they didn't want to do because you don't go from that holiday before. Hey, this the biggest. The Xbox Series X is 350, and
Mhm.
and this the biggest exclusive we have for years, and this and that. And I think they had a Forza game around that time and all that stuff, right? You don't go
Mhm.
from that to a month later. Oh yeah, hey, the games are on PlayStation now.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
whatever happened in that month from December to January, or in early January too,
The,
that I think that was the nail in the coffin for Phil and Sarah. But
the first
continue what
thing
you're
that
saying.
happened is that they let what's her name, that girl, that lady that was working along
Yeah,
fucking
Amy Ford, I think.
Amy, right? The first thing they did is that Amy, she put those profit margins way too high,
Yeah,
unrealistically too high, right? That's number one.
Yeah.
And then, of course, since it's like I told people, more than likely, Sarah Palmer was supposed to take the helm, right, after film.
Yeah.
hmm
So Phil was trying to go with whatever was going on with Sarah to show her the respect, right? That he wasn't trying to step on her feet, maybe because also the fact that all the bullshit goes on now, because she's a woman, also probably because she was a woman of color, so people wouldn't think that he was being unfair to her. You know what I'm saying? Because people push that stupid narrative, right? So Sarah comes from the mobile space, right? Where everything is a shared thing, but the mobile space is completely different as far as the ecosystem than a console, right? Because a lot of games on the mobile space cost maybe $5, $1 So you have 1 million, 2 million, 20 million people buy a fucking game for $1, they're still gonna make $20 million, like nothing, right? It's not like that with console gaming, because a lot of the console games, since they're expensive, they're gonna be at least at the cheapest end 30, and now at the highest end we know 70, 75, 60, whatever. But they also were trying to do the play anywhere, which made sense because you buy the one game, you take it on the go, because they were trying to do the handheld. Because remember, the one that they really did, or quote unquote, were doing from themselves that they produced, was put on hold. It was postponed. That's why they did the deal with with Ace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah, he'll probably come back and finish it. I'm about to call tonight myself, man. I got
if
things
you
to
want
do
to
in the
hang on,
morning.
we'll do
too.
about 9 more minutes. That's
All right,
7:30.
yeah, I can hang on. I can hang on for another 10 minutes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I gotta go too.
Yeah.
So,
But yeah, he
but
about
like I was trying to say, they were doing the Rogue Ally X, and in partial, it worked in a lot of ways, but it wasn't helping the console side of it. Like the console, they got away from doing console exclusives. They got away from doing those updates more periodically for the console, giving more features. They just completely got away from that. And that's what started to hurt them, because their baseline, consumers are the console. That's where you have most of the Game Pass consumers, the ones buying the games, the ones buying the peripherals. It's not the PC guys. It's not PlayStation dudes. It's not Nintendo dudes. It's not the motherfuckers that are on the handheld. No, those are not the guys. So they were making somewhat of the money that they wanted to, but on the side where the main hardcore fans were not in. And that's what ended up hurting them the most. It was about people saying fucking retarded shit because of the perception. Oh, that Xbox is dead because they got no exclusives, even though we knew that wasn't true, right?
Yeah.
Then you got the aspect of part of them making physical copies for PlayStation and Nintendo, but not because Indiana Jones, let me tell you, is completely in that little micro card. So you're gonna tell me the Indiana Jones game is in that micro card, but the one on the Xbox is a code? Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those things didn't sit well.
But if any game and any property deserves physical, it's Indiana Jones.
That's what I'm saying. So they gave us a beautiful collector's edition, but it was a code.
Yeah.
And then they go give Nintendo that ain't worth piece of shit for nothing. Oh yeah, we'll put it all in the micro card. Like, bro, the optics on that alone, what do you think that made the console gamers feel? We are the console gamers. Yeah. We're the hardcore. We're the core. How are you going to get, like I said, a copy of Gears of War Reloaded for the PS5 and not give it to the Xbox gamers? And then the upgrade for those who bought the physical, we didn't even get it for free. Only people that bought a digital. Like, what the fuck? You see, I bought a physical, and I still didn't get the upgrade. I had to pay for that separate. I said, fuck you, I'm not paying for it separate. I pay it on Game Pass.
Yeah.
I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And that was where they lost. Where Phil, particularly, because Phil should have known better. But again, I keep telling you, Phil had too much attachment to this industry with too many people for too long. So he didn't want to do cutthroat moves because he felt like they're not going to look at me in a different way. They're going to be mad at me. You get what I'm saying?
No, but this is the thing, right? We talk about this all the time when it comes to Phil. Because he pretty much ignores, because like I guess he feels that we're there. He ignores the core in that sense. So why don't you just be a prick and do the things, right? That would ensure that you're going to continue to ignore us, because it wouldn't matter because you're making money hand over fist.
Right.
That I would actually respect.
Yeah, I get it.
Right? Like if he made COD exclusive, if he actually went out and pushed and did some of this stuff, right? To make the console the focus, right? So he could do all this other stuff that he wanted to do. And then when we complained, he just could have turned and just ignored us. What his mistake was, like you said, he ignored us without having any of that.
Right.
That's what blows my mind about this whole thing. I'm just like, bro, man.
On top of ignoring us, he didn't feed us at least on the side. He didn't do that.
Yeah.
And that's what became the problem.
Again, hate to bring up Crap Gamer, but perfect example.
Because he went after Crap, even though Crap at that time was an Xbox guy, right? At that time, right? Even though we know he's fucking a turncoat and an opportunist, at the very core. But at least at that point, he was an Xbox gamer. But yeah, when you have people like Porter Rock, what's his name? The ones that used to be in the Weapon Wheel podcast, all those idiots over there, all those fucking retards, talking shit about Xbox, and he would be like, "Oh, don't worry, guys, we hear you." Paying attention to them when they weren't Xbox dudes.
Nope. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And didn't even try to go after them and tell them and putting them in their places. No, but you put an Xbox guy, quote unquote, at that time in his place because you didn't like what he said. Because he called out the reality, the truth. How are you going to make an announcement on something just a month away? Even though it didn't matter because, like I said, PC gives a fuck. But it's the principle of how he approached it, right?
Yeah.
So again, Phil also, when he went into the IGN podcast, we lost the best generation. We could have lost the PlayStation. They beat us. Who does that?
Yeah.
You don't do that because even though me, you, Unlimited, E-Rock, people like us, we understood what he said probably, right? Like the fact is, he meant that it was the generation where the digital era grew exponentially, right? It grew. More people were buying games like crazy digitally, right? And because there were more PS5s or 4s at the time, more games were being sold digitally on PlayStation 4. Yeah. But what he don't understand, that growth came from their own negligence because they let go of the marketing rights for Call of Duty during the 360 because they wanted to buy new studios and build up a portfolio of developers. Okay, fine. So why, when you went and bought Activision, because they went to you, they were going bankrupt, they went to you. Even though you told them to go somewhere else to get bought and no one gave them what they wanted, that's why they ended up giving them ultimately the 79 billion. It was supposed to be 125 billion. That's what Activision wanted, right? Because of Bobby Kotick and the girl killing herself and all the fucking male chauvinist shit that he was doing with supposedly with the workers.
Well,
right?
he was the management, right?
Right. He was the manager and he wasn't paying attention to it, whatever was going on, right? So instead of saying, okay, we're going to make Call of Duty exclusive and then you get it 2 years later or a year later, whatever. That audience left. That big ass audience that went to PS4 went following Call of Duty, chasing Call of Duty for maps. For fucking maps, because they were timed exclusive for a year on PlayStation. For fucking maps. Call of Duty fans follow the game, they don't follow consoles. If you make Call of Duty exclusive, they'll come right back to play the Xbox. They're not going to care that it's on Xbox. They'll be like, oh, we need Call of Duty. That's it. They're not going to give a fuck. It's like if they did a real medieval move like we and you were talking about on Figure, and they would have made a deal with Rockstar, made Grand Theft Auto exclusive, right?
Yeah.
Even though we know it's not realistic, but if they did, right? You telling me that all those people would not went and bought an Xbox?
There's a generation of gamers that they need to focus on. If Asha ever listens, there's an up and coming generation of gamers. These guys are going back analog. They're digital already.
Yeah, they're going back to physical stuff. They like it. Yeah.
So there's an audience out there that I think that's what you guys should be going for. Me, guys like us, we're old, right? Then you got a generation of people raised on PlayStation. Forget those guys. What you guys need to focus on is that up and coming generation, like our kids.
It's my sons, because I taught my sons to buy physical and why it was important. Because it's the only true preservation for game.
Yeah, but
it's the only way you have true ownership. And my sons are all in their 20s and early 30s.
Well, there's just a generational shift.
Yes.
That they could farm for lack of a better word.
Right.
Because at the end of the day, like Phil said, whatever, they lost a generation. Dude, you can't sell stuff to people that's not going to buy your stuff.
Right.
The perception and the narrative is out there. What you guys need to do is ultra focus on the up and coming generation. Case in point, and sorry guys, we're gonna have to wrap this up. But case in point, really quickly, with 250 years of that the nation was celebrating, do you realize that COD didn't release anything?
Yeah.
COD had nothing. The anniversary of this country, 250 years, right? COD had nothing.
And didn't release nothing for celebrated.
Yeah. Right. Now maybe Black Ops 7 might have did something. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong, but I didn't see anything.
I don't play Call of Duty, so I don't know.
but for that fan base, for the way
Mhm.
that the younger generation is coming
Yeah,
up.
yeah, yeah. How they follow Fortnite for every event they put in there. When they put,
Well,
like they put fucking the weekend in Fortnite and shit.
well, I'm gonna say something that's gonna piss a lot of people off, right? Because I
Mm-hmm.
understand why COD wouldn't do that. At least the people that work there. But this is the reality of it all, right?
Mm-hmm.
The generation of people that are coming on, they're a little bit more pro-military. Okay, they're they're
Mm-hmm.
they're, they're they've shifted. They've shifted.
Mm-hmm.
So if anything, and don't look at it through a political lens, dude. If you guys really want to
Right, right,
compete,
right, right.
look at it through a business lens.
Business. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's like how you guys did with all the other stuff that was happening all these other years. Now that ended up being a bust, right? And I'm not saying this stuff is bulletproof either. But what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying is that you guys need to do something. You guys need to do something monumental because I think maybe that window, that opportunity that you had when Matt Booty made the comment that he did about outspending Sony, that might have
Mm-hmm.
gone. That might be gone in these economic
Mm-hmm.
times. Right? So that's the biggest thing I would say. It just surprises me, right, that they have such a popular game in COD. Right, that's what I want to see from Asha. I want
That
to see
makes so much money because those people are gonna buy it regardless. They're like the
yeah.
same people who buy GTA, the same people who buy Madden. They're conditioned, and that's the game they love, and they're gonna keep buying it no matter what.
Well, there's a person like me who
Mm-hmm.
actually plays COD, right?
Yeah, yeah,
That's what
yeah.
bothers me the most, right? Because when I play COD, some of that stuff, like if you're gonna do certain things in there, some of them that just doesn't make sense. That's why I don't end up buying the things that they put up there, right? When I play
Mm-hmm.
COD, I wanted to at least still have some kind of connection to being real, to a military shooter, right? And I understand that's not the popular opinion, right? But you guys got to do something because this is like I said earlier with Unlimited, there's no point in doing all the stuff that you're doing. I think you're doing a great job if
Mm-hmm.
you're not able, right, to change what your biggest problem is,
Yeah,
right,
yeah.
which is your connection to the culture of gaming.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And that's my opinion. I know not everybody
Yeah.
agrees, but that's just my opinion. But guys, just really quickly, if you guys can wrap, I have to go.
No
It's already
worries.
7:30 where
No
I'm at.
worries.
But Hiba, give your final thoughts and then we'll close.
Yeah, yeah. No, I have a lot of things that I'm going to talk about, but I didn't. Unfortunately, I didn't realize that you're on. Um,
Yeah,
but
this
yeah,
was a pleasure.
I think this is a necessary change.
Yeah.
The only one I was kind of like, wait, what the fuck? Why are they doing Undead Labs? But then I realized, God damn, it's been 8 years since Stereo K3. I mean, dude, that makes perfect sense. Fucking 8 years and they produced. They had to cut it out. They had to cut that out. They had to make a statement, and they had to make a statement quick. You guys took it easy. You laid back. We tried to help you. We gave you an opportunity. We bought you. We gave you all unlimited amounts of time and money, and you produced at your own leisure. It wasn't enough. Now we got to cut ties. We got to keep going. We'll sell you off. We'll let you exist. Keep doing and wish you luck. Right? It had to be done. It had to be done. And so, unfortunately,
That's a tough one for me. But go ahead, sorry.
yeah, I mean, it sucks because I still like Ninja Theory, but let's be honest, guys. How many Ninja Theory games sold well? Only one. Like I said, it was only one. And it was all because of the circumstance. It was circumstantial. Because at that time, Sony had no games. They was exclusive. They made a deal with Sony exclusive. They basically ignored it, Microsoft, right? Made the fucking game. Sony didn't fucking help them with shit. They almost couldn't finish the game. Thank God that they were able to. They finished the game and it sold, right? And then Microsoft comes and gives them all this fucking money, builds them a brand new studio, brand new mocap studio, make millions of dollars probably spent on making them a beautiful new studio to ultimately at the end be like, oh, well, this is what we want to do and we're going to take our time anyway, and made them keep, selling out money, but not producing money enough, creme de la creme money for them. You know what I'm trying to say?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I also think a lot of that part is because they didn't offer physical. There's a physical market out there, whether people want to believe it or not. Okay, there is a physical market, more than people probably think. Because even if it's 10 million or fucking 12 million people, that's millions of people. That's not thousands of people, millions. Okay, that's not just like 2 or 3 or thousands of people, 100,000. No, millions. That's still revenue. And if it's because they don't want to have too much games out there sitting in the shelves without selling, hey, listen, we live in an era where there's multitudes of options, whether you go through another third party or even through your store. Made to pre-order. Simple. As many people pre-order, as many copies as they make a couple extra for any.
I have mixed feelings on that because I'm not always listen. I live on one income, Hebot,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
I'm not always in a position to buy a game like
Mm-hmm.
on limited. Let's say limited run releases a game that's digital only right now, like South of Midnight.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
now, I
Mhm.
would miss that ability to pay for it, but at
Yeah,
the
that
same time, in the current situation where the brick and mortar stores around me are pretty much emptied and the only place to really buy, especially well, any game, because even because I went to my local GameStop today, and even that shit is piss
yeah,
poor
it's
with
piss
games on
poor.
the X,
A hundred
especially on
percent.
the Xbox side.
A
My
hundred
only
percent.
avenue is online right now to buy physical.
Well,
Right,
that's why
my
I
only
said unlimited. That's why I'm saying that what they can do is do made to pre-order, meaning they could even use Amazon since Amazon is accessible to everybody, right? At
yeah
least here in the States, right? You put up the game for pre-order with a window. How many people pre-order you? All you have to put is $5 down, and then you pay the game when it finally comes out.
yeah
That's simple. That way, everybody that wants a physical gets it, and no one misses out. No one misses out. You get what I'm trying to say? And if
yeah
they see a demand that is still people still didn't get it, and then more people want it, then they can make a little bit more. They could run
yeah
another run on it if they want to. But again,
my
that way they play it safe.
mhm.
You and me will get our physicals, right? And they don't lose money because they don't have no fucking game sitting on the shelf wasting, you know,
Yeah
shelf space
'cause-
without nobody buying them. You get
yeah
what I'm trying to say?
because that stuff costs money, shipment and
Absolutely,
all
because
that
that's the
stuff.
other problem. People don't get that. That the only time physical games make money, and that's why Sony's being so aggressive with the digital, is when it
First
sells
release.
the first 3 months. That's it of
Yeah,
release. After that, everything else, every other sale is diminished returns. They
yeah.
make no money. It's all GameStop making money, Best Buy
It,
making money, Amazon making money. You know what I'm saying? And you know that those
Sony,
people.
yeah,
Go ahead.
Sony really hates the secondhand market because you don't make nothing. For
Nothing.
example,
Nothing.
if I was like, hey, let me pick up that let's say you got a copy of Ninja Gaiden Black, right? And I
Yes.
don't. I like,
Mhm.
how much can I get? You know what I'm saying?
Mhm. Mhm.
That's what Sony really don't like is
But
somebody
remember,
buy. Mhm.
remember another thing, Unlimited. I didn't mean to cut you off. I just want to add to what you just pointed out. When they sell to Amazon, Amazon buys in bulks,
Yeah,
especially Amazon. Amazon tell them we're going to get 500,000 copies. How much you going to sell it to us? They're not paying us $70 for each game. They're probably paying 40, maybe 30 for each game, and they get a bulk price. So they're losing money already as it is. You see what I'm saying? And that's
yeah,
what people don't get. That's why the physical medium is so hard to push. The only way it makes sense, like I said, without no one losing, is do it made to pre-order through the
yeah,
Microsoft Store, through Amazon, and no one loses. We all win, and you don't got to get rid of it. You get what I'm saying? Because you know the people that
yeah,
want the disc drive, like me, you, Sega Forever, that also buy, let's say, movies physically, we're gonna buy that disc drive. So you can make that made to pre-order too. Oh, you want the disc drive?
yeah,
We pre-order it, and we'll make it. Whoever doesn't pre-order it, we don't make extras. That's it. If you need to replace it, send it to us. We'll send you a new one. That's different. You get what I'm trying to say? But they don't do
yeah,
that, and that's so easy and so safe that that they don't have to worry about shit. They don't got to worry about shit. Like how do you send more physical copies of games in Europe because predominantly they buy more physical, but yet they're not buying Xboxes. It don't make no sense. Who cares if they buy more physical? They're not buying Xboxes, so they're not going to buy physical. But yet you make it physical for over there, but not here. You know how many times I've seen that shit where I had to go buy my Double Dragon, the new one, the 3D one, in fucking Europe and paid almost $90 for a $30 game because I had to pay the fucking overseas cost. That's fucking bullshit. You see what I'm saying?
yeah. Amazon is usually pretty good on the international
Yeah, that's what I
deliveries
did.
of
I bought
games.
it through Amazon, and it still
Yeah.
cost me almost $90
Oh wow, that
because
one must be.
the
It
import
must be
fees.
yeah, it must have been a low print one because when I bought that Kaku game you showed me,
Oh yeah.
Yep,
Popcorn was
yep,
good.
yeah,
Yes, that was
yeah.
really. That was reasonably priced. Yes.
Yeah. And in my collection, I have my share fair of Peggy 16 rated
Yeah,
games,
imports. Yeah,
which is there
European
for the
games. Hmm.
yeah. So
And God was a great game. That's another awesome
yeah,
game that people didn't even play or talk to. People saw nobody talking about that. I think I was one of
yeah,
the only few people that actually did a video on my channel playing the fucking game.
yep,
And it's an
yep.
amazing game. An amazing game.
It really is. It really is. But we talked about that earlier. But hey, sorry to cut you off, my brother Hebot and
No
Sega
problem.
Forever. I'm calling it a night, guys. I gotta
Yeah.
be up
No,
myself.
yeah,
It's
because I
just
gotta
that
go.
I'm so busy I can't talk about this like I want
Hmm.
to on the Unlimited Truth.
All right,
So
yeah,
you
yeah.
gave me
So
that window.
Unlimited, just real quick. I'm gonna wrap it up right now.
Mhm.
So if you guys want, we can do something. It's hard for me to do stuff like this during the week.
Yeah.
But we can do it on Saturday if you guys are willing.
Whenever you want, brother. You know that.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm sorry, guys, I have to go. So hey, Hebot, thanks for being here, brother, especially with your.
No, thank you for sending me a link, even though it was late.
No worries. And then yeah, so this is what I mean, bro. Like when I do stuff like this,
Mhm.
it's like I actually shouldn't be doing this right now, right? Because
Yeah.
it's a work night. So all right, guys, but Unlimited, thank you for being here as well. Thank you to the chat.
All right.
Xbox All In channel, we out.
Thank you, guys.